Oh. I like that. That's cool. Yes. That's cool.
There's my boy Fabian to the Chilean
Let's
nightmare.
go.
Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the midday show. That's your boy Joey Options. Now I know what I forgot. I forgot the chat, bro. I didn't load up the chat.
I got the chat.
You got the chat?
You want me to send it?
Can you do it?
No, that's your job, bro. I will more than happily. No, listen, I will more than happily do it, but I don't want to take. I'm not going to steal any of that, like whatsoever. We got it right here. We can pull up my screen if
you're doing it live.
We can do it.
We'll do it live right here. Oh, see this, Joseph?
See, it's taking too long.
We're good. All
right, we're doing it live. You ready?
Here we go, baby.
There you go. You're live.
There's my guy. There's my guy. Here we go. Let's do this up. We're loading it. We're doing it live. We're gonna click Apple. All right, here we go. Don't say my name. KK14M. Shout out to you, KK. I didn't mean to say your name. Damien. We got Jameson.
KK.
Fotro, Rabbit, Trader, whatever. Vern, Aman, Just Living, YV, Spark Shop, Tony Huri, Benjamin Wiki. We got Stuart. We got Nephew, the capital P. How about Melinda? How about Mean G, 1980? Donkey Traders, weaseling his way into the house. Sean Drake, Aziz, Michael Alomu. How about Blue Arrow? Shout out to John Manzonian. Why not? Samuel Stevenson, Anti-Imperialist Party. Ooh. I don't know what's going on here. Moonshot. Shout out to my main man, Bovin, otherwise known as my other pair of eyes. How about Robert, Eric, Mind, Elevation, Micah, and Robel. Moonshort, G-Talk, Mike DeRider, JD whatever, George Salurgo. Sorry, bro. Robel, DJ, Skull, Sean Henry, Young Talent the Great again, Charmine Khan. How about Barranquilla 2020 Hookup, Mr. John, and Constantine Antonio. Liam's 3D printing and gaming. If you've got 3D printing you need, hit up my man right there. Who else? Who else? Oh, let's see. The Piper, Asvin Riviera. Come on, keep bringing those bad boys in. We already said this one. Who else? Other Zinc, that's my man. Sebastian, Dustin Reeder, Gary F, Day Trader Cut, Sadiq, Abdul. Don't put that emoji in there, Abdul. You'll catch a block super quick.
Abdul,
yeah. Mr. Future and Sean, not Sean Katina, but another Sean.
Another Sean.
We like him neither. We like him. We like both of them. Joseph, good morning, my man.
Look at that, boom. Look at that screenshot right there. I mean, guys, welcome to one of the most energetic, the hottest intraday trading shows of all time. You're sitting here, we're doing it live right here. Joe Mama, I mean, the volatility started to cool down. That's why we like it. We don't like those overextended markets here, guys. You can see what we got up on the chart. Native New York, let's get some VWAP action. My guy, did we ever catch some VWAP action here today? Look at this beautiful, beautiful trade, as my guy Obi would like to say. Absolutely beautiful stuff here on IBIT. Obi, did you see this one here? I guess you're busy right now. He's going to grab a little break here. You seen the IBIT entry, add.
What do you say about it?
Boom.
He likes it?
And then we start to piece out. So there we go. Sports and Stonks, what's up? I mean, really nice stuff, guys. I just started accumulating some shares right around the volume weighted average price, putting us nicely greenly on the session. But we always have to disclose some of our losers. All right, so what else did we trade today? We traded some Apple, AAPL. Start off really well, and then you know what? I wanted to take that trade, but I didn't, and that's my fault. But you can see here, we had a nice hammer doji on the 1-minute chart. Enter the position, add to it once we had the inability to crack those lows. We take a little bit off, and then we get stopped out break even. And then I just never took another entry to the downside on this. But then we tried a couple shorts on Apple, didn't work. So we went 1 for 3 on that one, and that's okay. And then we took one more stab here on NVDA. And that didn't work, and then I said AC Slater. I'm not worried about this. It wasn't part of my primary list. Even though I did believe that we were going to continue, it took a long time and it wasn't participating with the overall market. So we went 0 for 1 on that one. So now we're 2 for 4 on that, shooting 50%, slightly red. But then we dial in and we add into IBIT, and this was absolutely the trade of the day thus far for your boy. So there we go. Nice look there on IBIT. Once again, we enter right here, add to the the position, add to the position, failed to make a new low, and then we add some more, and then we eventually got that break. There was a supply zone at 56, so I'm going to keep a key eye out for that. About 28,000 current open contracts at that level. Let's see if we can grab into 56 here on IBIT. Let's go.
All right, man. We have SDM. SDM is an IPO. All right, so we didn't know about this IPO today. We know about it now. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to Bovin. SDM, Shoppers Drug Mart. No, it's not. That's, you know that's my dad's license plate, eh? Yeah. Yeah, because he used to be with Shoppers before the whole thing. And the employees got him that license plate for his birthday one year.
Oh, that's nice.
Eh? I can't hear. Okay, so SDM, guys, moving up to the high side, 1439. It's currently halted to the upside right now. Keep your eye out on this one. Great move. This one opened up at 4. Shout out to my man Bovin. It looks like it opened up higher than 4, Bovin. Maybe that was the actual IPO price, but I think the opening print there, it looks like to be 524, maybe even higher, 546, whatever it is. It's been a halt fest, an absolute halt fest to the upside. Fantastic look right now on SDM, 1439 halt. Keep your eye out on this one. What's the volume on it? We've got 1.12 million shares on Smart Digital Groups. That's what it is. That's what this company's called, Smart Digital Groups. SDM is a ticker. It's trading on the NQ, currently halted to the upside. We're going to keep an eye out on this one, obviously, and we'll be looking to execute on it if it is warranted. So that's the situation right now. Keeping my eye on that. Definitely want to get involved with this one because we were involved with a bunch of IPOs as of late, and they've been good to us now. So I'll cover first the trade that I've got on. That is your boy Doja Cat over here. Ooh. No, I'm talking about our cat breaking through the high side. We got 81s. I had 75s and 71s to add into the position, into the 10 exponential moving average on the 5, and it didn't give me those fills. So currently we're dealing with the 81s, but we wet the beak there at 85. Rigetti, knees are freaking heavy right now. 1048 high a day. This thing's up 14.55%. It's been very directional, very strong. There's like one red candle on the 5-minute chart since basically 10 a.m., okay? So you get the idea. It's very strong and very upward bound. My man Jay Lee there was like, look, bro, you know, this looks extended. It may be time to short up here. If that is going to be the case, if that's your move, make sure you're exercising sound risk management. This one I got involved in. Wolf, we took a nice position over here at 57, took all the way up to 70s, and then I got stopped out for the remaining amount on WOLF. It's up 24%. I'm a buyer here at Wolf into the retracement at the volume weighted average price. Currently on my 5-minute chart, it's showing 440, 4 high 30. So let's go ahead and throw a dip trade right now for that VWAP retracement. I'm going to wait at 42s. Yeah, let me just double check super quick. Yeah, I'm going to wait at 42s, and then I'll give it 10 pennies. So we'll go ahead and throw 432 as our out, and we'll give it a little bit of room as we typically do because you know how these can become a little bit illiquid. So that's what I'm looking at right now. We've got a lot of small cap gappers. It doesn't seem like they're giving up the ghost, much in the same way that we've seen a lot of times with these ones that start off very strong on the day and then they end up basically breaking down at around midday, 11, 12 o'clock. You're not seeing that right here. Look at this chart. Every single one of the ones that I've got up on my screen is making higher highs and higher lows, for the exception of Wolf, which is, again, a possible VWAP trade. So that's what we're involved in right now. We're in RCAT currently. I'm certainly interested in Pony. Rigetti I've already waxed poetic about. Astis, ASTS, a bit more expensive of a small cap gapper, but respectful of the trend nonetheless. Very respectful of the 10, as you can see over here, even in the consolidation area between 940 to 1015, we didn't even break VWAP, not on a wick or closing basis. And so it continues to respect that level. ADPT as well, up 35-ish%, having trouble breaking through 10s, but above VWAP. AUR at day's highs right now, 813. Look at this thing. It's a buy program. It doesn't even touch the 10 maybe all of once, and it just printed another high day while I was talking. SMMT, another one that's very up and to the right. It had it looked like it had some trouble with 29s initially, with a couple of double tops into that area, but it looks like it was taken on a decisive basis now with that 29.99, the high of the day. I could be a buyer here on SMMT, either at the 10 exponential, which is basically right here, 29.29, 29.30, or the volume weighted average price, which is a little bit higher than 28 right now. So there's a whole ton to talk about today in small cap gapper world, but make sure you are exercising sound risk management skills. Come on, bro. Come on, Wolf, bro. Are you seriously going to wick and then not enter me? All right, bro. Here's the deal. So, Joseph.
Yes, sir.
This frustrates me, but we're not going to chase this one because this is a pullback trade, not a breakout trade, right? So chasing a pullback trade can get you in some trouble. So what we're going to do on this one, on Wolf, we're going to wait for the first 5-minute candle to give us a new high on a closing basis. We get that. We're going back long on Wolf, but I missed my entry, sadly, at VWAP. Front run the levels, I say. I just don't execute it. Joseph.
Yeah, good stuff there. Tim is in. Sharif, my boy, you and Joe are the peeps during the day. Much love, brother. And hope y'all have a great weekend. Also, that stash is what's up, fam. Let's go. Stash GG. Let's go. Yeah, Tim is in. I mean, much appreciated, brother. Much love. So thank you for that one. Guys, I told you this is what we're doing, so go check it out on X itself. I told you I'm posting some high levels of open interest, so go check out Trader TV Research. I tagged them in the post and Trader TV, but follow your boy at Trader TV Joseph, and you can see what we were talking about here on IBIT, and you can see that supply zone right at 56, 28,000 open contracts, and we got to a high of roughly 55.73, so finding some overhead right at that specific strike place, so that's good. So go check it out. You can see my handle right here at Trader TV Joseph. Go check it out and give your boy a little follow. But some good stuff cooking up this morning. And I'm curious, can you guys also see this a little bit better? I wasn't loving the aqua blue and the yellows. If you like this a little bit more, just let me know. I can always go a darker shade, but just so you can see the execution slightly better. So entry, add, wait for that pullback, add once again, and then there we go. We start to piece it out. But again, just using the same thesis, right? I'm like, the reason why I had the ability to hold through all of this is I was just waiting for it to crack. If it broke that low, if it broke 55, that's exactly where my stop was going to be, then I was going to get out of that trade. So it held, and then that's why you add into those positions. You get hit, but you just got to hit harder. Bart Simpson, I'm going to follow you today, bro, just getting started with options. Love that, Bart. Much appreciated, brother. And feel free to, Dasher, don't say that. There we go. Feel free to DM me as well, too. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them and shoot me a direct message or anything along those lines. Phil Spicer, Mara pullback. Yeah, let's take a look at MARA. I don't really trade it. I know a lot of individuals in the chat like to, just due to its kind of correlation with Bitcoin, obviously, but a really nice look here, up 4.4% on the day. So yeah, maybe a pullback. I mean, the market is really strong, but what I want you guys to notice is that if you go through multiple underlyings, we're all kind of forming this same pattern right here. If I go through the likes of NVDA, Amazon, IBIT, you can see that we're breaking some downward channels and sitting on the backside of these channels, and that can give us some good, solid opportunities for these longs, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Amazon is absolutely flying here, so let's take a look at that. A nice breakout. Gaurav and I were talking about this, same with Los Polios. We're like, okay, be patient. That breakout volume is there. You can see that volume by time profile on this 1 minute interval. It's really starting to pick up. You don't want to chase it all the way up here. You want to wait for that pullback. You want to be able to identify lower volume on that pullback and then look for the continuation and join that trend. But you can see the correlation between a lot of these tech heavy names. It's almost identical to what we just seen on Mara, opening up at the top side of this resistance zone. I'll pull back Mara and we'll look at NVDA briefly quick, identical from a daily standpoint. And we'll take a look at NVDA, identical from a daily standpoint. So that can give us some more conviction to get long in some of these good names. Is it going to work out? We want these levels to hold, so we just have to be really patient. But Bitcoin, absolutely the trade of the day. Let's see if we can continue to climb up 1.2% here, Sharif.
All right, man. We're waiting here for a print on ARCAT. I'm waiting at 87s. I'm at 87s. It's at 87s, but it's not crossing, so we'll have to pack her patience. Pony is also coming into a good technical level. Let's load up Pony. Give me a second over here. It's so many different screens, man. I'm like running out of room. Here we go. Let's have a look at Pony. That 11 1/4 is coming in. That's a 10 exponential. Yeah, that could be an interesting one here. Let's see if it wants to hold up at this level. That's a good look. Just flipping back quickly to RCAT to see if we got the print. We did not, so 87's and basically a resistance level at the moment. Looking to see whether this is the right area to get into Pony. I'm going to get in here. We're going to give this one a little bit of room. Where do we get in? 30. Okay, let's load up the orders. This is a 10 exponential pullback. So it's, you know, I'm 0 for 2 on the 10 exponential pullbacks today. Quite well, except that's not accurate. I'm 1 for 3 on the 10 exponential pullbacks. RCAT was a good 10 exponential pullback, but the 10 exponential doesn't seem like it's holding up as well as it has on other days. So maybe we'll have to wait for VWAP for this specific type of trade. So I'm going to keep my eye out on that. Don't want to jump into too much too quickly and then get behind. So Pony, we're long at 30s. We're 4 pennies out of the money. Looking for this to hold the 10 EMA, the 10 EMA on the 5, that is. So anything below 10s, I'm gone. So we're just going to throw in the stop right now at that level. And we'll see what we get. Break even on it again on Pony. What else we got over here? Wolf, we didn't get quite into yet. I don't think this is the right trade on Wolf now that it's come back into VWAP and it's still putting in lower highs but not lower lows. So I'm going to cancel that dip trade that I had at the volume weighted average price until I see a little bit more. If it sets up at VWAP and then it shows me multiple candles that are holding up at the volume weighted average price, then I'll get in. Okay, but right now it's still got that pattern of lower lows and lower highs on WOLF. Not exactly a glowing endorsement to get long, so I'm going to pack my patience there. Let's keep an eye out on Summit as well. This one also failed. While Joe was talking, I took an ill-fated trade on Summit at the 10 exponential, and it failed it. It wicked below it, but now it looks like it's trying to close above it. We've got 1 minute left on this candle. If SMMT ends up closing above the 10 exponential with a bottoming tail candle, I'll punch back into that one. So we'll keep an eye out on SMMT to see if we can get something back on that one. But yeah, RCAT continues to have trouble with 87s, so I'm just packing my patience there, not really jumping in anything. Sorry guys, I'm not going to be reading the comments because I just have way too many positions on at the time, and there's just way too many runners, so it's going to be hard for me to look at the chat and execute on the trades. So if you're tagging me, I do apologize. I won't be able to respond until things get a little bit slower, Joseph.
Yeah, good look there. This is your good friend Ostentatious Production says, "Hey Sharif, my friend, I finally bought my BMW M3.
Attaboy.
Thanks to trading and your teachings. Joe's so okay too." I'm like, come on.
Wow.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
All right, Joe.
Yeah,
just show him the VWAP video. I think he'll change his mind.
I got it up already, my friend. I already have it up. You know it's ready. Here it is. The hottest.
Oh, I can't believe this guy's actually doing it.
I told you.
I was joking.
Neil, check this out here. This is it, the hottest VWAP video out right now, guys. Go and check out. If you're curious on how we utilize it, this is going to give you a great brief description on what exactly we're looking for, and then and that's exactly what we did today. So there it is. Go check that out. And thanks for all the followers on X as well too. So there you go. Let's beat Donald Trump right here on this. Yeah, see, zoom in. What a stud that guy is right there. I like that. Zoom in. Oh, where are we? Oh, right there, let's go. Hey. The BTS. Whoa. Yeah, we like that one. Yeah, so the hairline's getting.
Oh God!
But that's all right, guys. Go check that one out there. No, it's all good times, man. It's Friday. The weather's getting a lot better, and then obviously that just lifts the spirits to a whole additional level. But here, this is what I want to talk about on the cues, guys. Is what we can, as we continue to move higher and higher and appreciate in price, you can kind of see the disorderly price action within all of these prints. They're not really decisive. What we would want to see on the way up is more strength within these. So just be cautious of what may be to come. We are starting to form somewhat of a shelf. So unless buyers really start to step in and start lifting that ask, then we might see a little bit of a pullback towards the volume weighted average price. So just be cautious of that. I wouldn't be chasing the cues right now. especially with some of these big names starting to pull back, with the likes of Apple and Amazon coming right back into 189, 190. And that's what I was telling Gaurav. We want to wait for this level to hold. You can see that we have some clear resistance zones, and now they're acting as support, and we want to see these continue to hold. All right, so this is what I'm referring to. We had that breakout volume. It wasn't horrible, not the best, but we'll take it. So as long as we can hold the middle of this range and not construct a new low and break this specific pivot right here, there might be some continuation into the trend. But one thing that we want to also keep note is that look at this kind of inverted. You can see the selling pressure within this candle, and then this 5-minute volume print is larger than anything for the past hour and a half. So just be cautious of that. We would want to see this volume continue to decay before we think about getting into any sort of long scenario. So hold the VWAP, hold the middle of this range. If you crack it and come to the backside of it, then you want to get out of that trade. That continuation to the top side might not be.
All right, Joseph, sounds good, my man. Still involved in Pony over here, just wet the beak there at 27, super quick, waiting for a bigger move up and a hold of the technical level, that is the 10 EMA. I'll submit to you, though, there is a good area of support at 11. So it kind of has that stair-step up pattern where it kind of has that initial bull flag. Each bull flag will look a little bit different, right? So you get sometimes they're compressing, sometimes they're facing upward, they're downward. Each bull flag is kind of created differently. This is the first one I'll submit to you guys. A big move down, but a hold of that 980-ish. Looks like it was a hold of 10, even though it wicked down below 10. The closing print's all above 10, and then it moves up again. Look how this bull flag looks a little bit differently than this bull flag. This one didn't really have a flat support level. This one does. It looks like, that $11 area, maybe 11.10, acting as a good area of technical resistance. So we get another print there to the high side at 29s. But look, it's having trouble really clearing that 30 penny area. I'm talking about PONY. So I'm keeping my eye out on that one. Still interested in for a bigger move up. Now, it's an 1168 high a day on PONY. It's only up 31 and a fifth percent. It's not exactly the biggest mover on the day, anything like that, but it's at a good level. So the reason I mentioned this whole $11 thing is because I've got my stop below 11.10. So now looking at it a bit further, it looks like the closing prints are all closing above that 11.10, but it is on occasion wicking down into 11. Now, it doesn't really make a difference where your stop is if it's wicking into that level. It doesn't matter if it's closing above or below a level. That only matters if you're waiting for the closing print before taking the trade. If your stop is at a certain level, it can't tell the difference whether it's a wick or a closing print, right? So I'm thinking possibly of lowering my stop just a skosh, just to account for that. Here we go. We're now breaking into that 30 penny area. We've got 24s. My next beak wetter is around 34 pennies, and then above that, we're waiting in the 40s. Got bigger size on this one than I typically take, and I don't take the biggest size around here. Full stop, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Still involved in RCAT as well. RCAT, not really doing a whole lot right now. It's got a lot of trouble breaking through 87s. What's keeping me optimistic about RCAT is the higher low situation and what I perceive to be a flat top. Essentially, that flat top is at the high of the day, 88s, 89s, whatever. Every successive candle since that candle that manifested on the 5-minute chart at 11.05 has been higher lows. So it's got that higher low, higher low, higher low, flat top setup. I think that might, that might bode well for me, but you never know how these things end up going. So we'll try to remain optimistic. I'm also trying to get in here on AUR. I set up a dip trade to front run that $8 level, which coincided with the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. But as I've mentioned many times before, the 10 EMA, as you already know, is a dynamic level. It's constantly changing as the price develops. So therefore, when I place this order, that's where the 10 EMA was. It is no longer there, so it's not filling me, sadly. So keep an eye out, see if I can extract a better price here on AUR. Definitely want to get involved with this one because it's very directional and very strong. Keeping an eye on PONY, just drop 10 pennies quick as you like. So thankful I was able to extract some profits there. How's this one doing? RCAT? No. So we're in no man's land. I'm nor getting filled on my dip trades nor taking out the top over here. So keep an eye out on all these. Rigetti as well coming into the 10 EMA that it hasn't touched basically all day. Well, that's not actually true. It touched it about 10 o'clock. Let's load up Rigetti. My man Jay Lee is of the opinion that this is a short at these levels, and I'm not disagreeing with Jay. I'm just not going to punch in short above the volume-weighted average price. Just a little rule that I have for these small cap gapper-like stocks. Not saying Rigetti is a small cap stock. I'm just saying, you know, kind of trades like one. SDM, guys, that one that we brought to you earlier, the IPO. Called Smart Digital. This thing's been halting to no end. Just want to update everybody on this once, twice, Obi thrice, 4, 5, 6 up halts in a row. You get one down halt. Now we're up halted again after coming back in to test that 10.5 volume weighted average price area. So we're up halted again. Most of the halts, guys, have been 10 minutes. There have been a few that have been 5. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4 that have been 10 minutes. 1, 2, 3 that have been 5. We're currently in one right now. We'll see what this one ends up being, 10 or 5. But yeah, SDM, initial public offering today, new one. Trade it carefully, Joseph.
Yeah, good stuff there. So I just got all out of my IBIT trade. Again, it just came back to my break even, so nothing complex, but what you can see is right at the volume weighted average price, we printed this doji, so it'd be nice if I could hold on, but I only had maybe 10% of my position left, so I don't mind getting out of it, but that could be a potential good long. Just be cautious because crypto doesn't necessarily follow these VPA signals as clean as some other underlyings and just flat out equities. So just watch out for that. But that could be a potential addition right there. And if we want to pull up the actual trade, holding on to 10% just for that ride, see if we can climb up on the session. But a nice breakout, and you can see that we just got out right there. So entry, add. Pop, all the way through that. So now, let's take a look at the chain on Amazon, because Gaurav and I are looking at it, the actual underlying itself, to see what we got going on and why we're stalling at that 191, roughly. So we'll pull that up here, and you can see that we had a 191.26 kind of pivot high right there. So I just wanted to take a look at the chain to see what it was telling us. Right at 190, 20,000 open contracts. But then when we get into the 195s, 197 to 200 is where you're going to start to see that book start to get a little bit stacked with 16,000, 25,000, 28,000 currently open contracts. So yeah, that's going to be some tight overhead, a lot of supply in those areas. So just be cautious of what's going on in that specific. You can see we had a 191 high, 25 roughly. So yeah, a nice bounce off of that. And let's take a look at NVDA as well, because there is a lot of contracts open, and I'm seeing this more frequently, which is, I mean, it's okay, but once these contracts expire, and then I'm assuming a lot of them are going to be rolled over to next week, etc. But once they're lifted, there could be some nice price action happening in NVDA. So you can see all the way through. I talked about the teens through 112, all the way up to approximately, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of overhead resistance to 121. Like, I'm not even going to spit all these numbers, but I'll give you the highest levels of OI, and that's going to be at 121. So I'm assuming that's going to be max pain for this week. I mean, I don't think we get there, but 81,000 open contracts, but at 113, 79,000, 114, 67,000, and yeah, those are the highest. But everything else in between that is through the 20s. So there's a lot of overhead resistance, and there you go. Amazon thesis invalid, Gaurav. We didn't get that move that we were looking for, nor did we hold the range that we were looking for as well too. So for me, that just says, hey, that trade plan's not necessarily going to work right now, so we got to find something else, or just be a little bit more patient, because we are hovering around the volume weighted average price. So again, I think patience is going to be the name of this game, but a nice recovery here on AMZN and Apple as well too.
Ready, Under?
All right, guys. We're calling it Studio 8, all right? That's what we're calling it, and it's not just a renovation. It's a metamorphosis. The transformation is real, guys. from the set to the sound to the way we deliver content, Studio 8 is a full evolution. Trader TV started literally in a room with just a couple of desks. Now we're building Studio 8. This is our biggest upgrade ever. It's not just cosmetic. Studio 8 is a shift in how we connect with you, our community. More hosts, more energy, guys, and more perspectives. There's your boy Joey Options. There I am right there. Guys, you have no idea what is going to happen with this studio right here. There's just, I could show you, but then it would kind of...
Oh, you have the plans?
I got the plans.
Oh, yeah, you didn't even show me yet, man.
Okay. Well, I can show you off camera.
Show me off camera.
No, guys, for real, we're doing it live. For the guy in the chat that was like, let's see how many times Sharif says we're doing it live. No, seriously though, guys, this is going to be huge. We're building out an entirely new studio. If I can show, can we do that camera thing again there? We point over there. There's a whole, yeah, go back all the way. There it is. No, keep going, keep going. More. There we go. See that wall right there where the computers, that's all coming down. That's actually on the other side of that. That is a conference room on the other side of the wall. And all that's going to be demolished. All those computers are going to be gone. There is going to be something special on that backside wall. It's going to be absolutely huge. I don't want to give it away, but big changes coming over here, guys. And the format's going to change, the way we interact with each other, where the big desk is, where the big kahuna's desk is, where the production team sits. It's changing. It's going to be a ridiculous multi-million-dollar build-out, literally, okay? But obviously, we ask that you have some patience with us as the build out happens, because you're likely going to hear some noise in the background and stuff like that, but I'm sure it's all for a good cause. This is Trader TV's biggest move yet, man. I've been watching this show since December 2020. Okay, so we're going on 5 years in some way, somehow have been involved with the show. And I can't tell you how excited I personally am now that I actually work here and I'm on the show. It's a huge move, and I know I'm waxing poetic and I do apologize, but I'm genuinely excited. Yeah, genuinely.
That's good, man. There's why would you apologize for being excited?
Yeah, you're right. I just like, I'm going on and on about it. That's kind of why.
I mean, at the end of the day,
you know what I mean? I'm genuinely excited.
Yeah, and you have every right to, just in case you didn't say it, he is really excited, and rightfully so, and no need to apologize for that by any means. I told you guys I just started watching Trader TV, and I believe it was 22 or 23, and I was just scrolling YouTube, and I found this channel, and I'm like, what is this? And then sure enough, like a couple minutes later, I see Katina Man, money, and it made me chuckle. And I'm like, all right, let's see what this is all about. And here we are. So yeah, I'm totally thankful for that. Everybody around here. So everybody in the back, the traders,
shout out to Whiskey,
Brando, shout out to Whiskey, and everybody on the team. So yeah, it's great stuff, guys. A lot coming as well too. So
it's nuts. It's nuts. And like when you guys hear the plans, things keep getting bigger. Like it was initially, it was like, okay, let's change around the desk so it's more conversational, so that when the Katina Man and the Neil are there and Adara is giving us the news, it's more of a natural flow. Then things kept progressing. Oh, we're going to do this. Oh, we're changing that. And so things they're getting out of hand in a good way. And in case I didn't mention it, I'm quite excited.
He's quite excited.
So shout out to the best team, the best show, and the best freaking viewers out there. It's you guys. This is the only reason we're doing it, man. I mean, if there was no viewers and there was no you guys, we wouldn't be doing any of this. So it goes without saying that we're very thankful to have you guys around, and we're excited. All right, guys. No, I'm playing for real. A couple of things over here. Let's talk some trading now. Where's that one at? Pony. Goss stopped out for the remaining amount. A little disappointed with this trade on Pony. I'll look to see what it does at $11. There is a technical area of resistance. Initially at that 1080 area, I'm willing to bet it might be more around 11. If 11 doesn't hold, I'm likely a buyer of Pony at around 1060 to 1050. That's where VWAP is, and that's where the topping tail candle is. So that one was a bit of a tougher trade for me. RCAT, we're doing well on this one. We just took out the top there in RCAT, new high a day, 489. It continues to defend that 10 exponential and put in higher highs and higher lows. Also involved in AUR. Where's my AUR trade? Oh boy. There it is, AUR. So I got it initially over here, so we're in no man's land on AUR. I'm still looking to defend that $8 area, but it hasn't come down, so I'm keeping my eye out on that. Definitely looking at taking something out. But Rigetti, knees are heavy, man. Rigetti's the trade of the day, guys. Look at this thing go. What a beautiful hold up at the 10 exponential. Should have been involved in that. Just thought we were going to top out here and breach, but I was wrong. So 1060, new high a day right now on Rigetti, up 15 3/4. Fantastic look for the quantum name. I don't know if there's actually any news on Rigetti. Let's find out. It could just be moving up with the overall market. I don't see anything today on Rigetti. It could be something possibly in sympathy with a different quantum name. I'm unsure at the moment. No news says it there, so no worries there. We'll keep an eye out on that, Joseph.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, for now, Gorev, it's not really something that we want to be taking our hyper-focusing on. But one thing I do want to talk about is Robinhood. It was one of my primary, and I don't know why I didn't just listen to myself this morning. I'm like, okay, we traded it well yesterday. Just go back to what you were doing well yesterday, and I didn't. I was trading other things, and you guys see it. Fortunate enough for them to work out. But this would have been my trade. This is my A++ setup right here. Really strong volume, and then just look at Robinhood really continue to move to the downside. And when I'm talking about, when I'm referring to kind of how we see the similar types of price action from a daily standpoint on multiple tickers, and you can see it right there on Hood. So a lot of similarities here. You're sitting on top of resistance zones, backsides of channels. So again, we could get a nice decent bounce here in the overall market, but Robinhood was that one trade that I missed on the day. Now, as for NVDA, no, I wouldn't be taking a long up here. You can see kind of a lot of these bars are overlapping, and then it's looking like you might get that pullback towards the volume-weighted average price, and there's a lot of overhead resistance. I think I'm going with the likes of Kramer. You know how Kramer says, own it, don't trade it, like with Apple and Microsoft, and NVDA is definitely falling into that realm for me. Own it, don't trade it. So you guys know I'm swinging it. You know I'm in at 107 roughly. I've been adding to the position. Now I'm just waiting to get into some contracts to really get this ball moving here. So a nice retest, and this is what I'm referring to sitting on the backside of this channel here, guys, to the downside. A couple whipsaw moves, but we have those multiple touches here. So that can be a positive signal, and that's what I'm going to continue to hold on. I mean, we can adjust this. So we're like that, and we're still on the backside of it, but going to be patient in this name. I know there's a lot of headwinds, but that's when you want to start buying some of these really, really big names, because it's shown once again that pays out. When everybody's fearful, there's blood in the streets, you want to grab some of these names. I know I got out of Tesla, not worried about that, because then we just grabbed some Robinhood, which has been working out really, really well for us. But I mean, at some point, if we continue to hold this 269 level on Tesla and sit on top of this range, there's going to be a nice breakout channel trade right here on Tesla all the way through 300s. And I mean, it could put in a serious day, like a $20, $30 session on that front. But let's take a look at the chain to see what it's telling us on this week's expiration cycle for Tesla and why we're specifically hovering around these levels. So this is going to be our resistance zone right at 293.50, we're going to call it, and we're going to take a look at what we have. So, I mean, at 300 is where we see that highest level of open interest. But then at 300, we have 43,000 open contracts as well, too. So a little bit of ways away on that front, but nothing too crazy. So, I mean, we'll go over to the next expiration cycle to see what's going on with that. But nothing is quite rolled over yet. Still low levels of open interest. But, I mean, once during this week's expiration cycle, who knows, those all can be lifted, and there might be some nice room to move to the top side tree.
Shout out to my man, Phil Switzer. Are you related to Barry Switzer? Oh, all right.
That.
Anybody know who that is?
No.
I know Neil who knows who that is, but that's kind of an easy one.
Who is he?
He's the former coach of the Dallas Cowboys when they won the 95 Super Bowl there, the last one, Joseph.
All right,
yeah.
That's all right.
What?
Yeah, well, you got to bring.
It wasn't even against you guys. That was against the Steelers, bro. You know that. Yeah. He's got, because before that it was against the Bill. I didn't bring that up, Neil. That was Jimmy Johnson. So shout out to Barry Switzer. No, but Phil Switzer wants me to look at BBAI. One of the Katina man looks there. Look, this one reported yesterday. It was a miss, man. Straight up, it was a miss. But look at the recovery. So yesterday, right when the market closed, we were trading around 340, give or take, maybe 345. We dipped down quite aggressively, relatively speaking, obviously, into that 290 area. But look at the recovery, my man. We got a triple top here at 338, and what I'm seeing is higher lows. Okay, you got a flat top brewing over here on BBAI, give or take at that 340 area. Technically, it's a 339 high day. That high day just got printed, my guy. So 340, this one's breaking out. Look at that buy program that seems to be picking this up off that 315, 316 area. So good look for Big Bear. Again, you know, the earnings report, it is what it is. I don't think this company is a mature company in the way that you would want to say investment portfolio material, but it could be one of those 10 baggers that you could have, right? That's one of those ones that can mint you money, like a Palantir or something like that. So keeping my eye on Big Bear AI. Look, I like the higher low situation, Phil. I like this flat top break, but you're likely going to encounter some resistance in the 50s, 55s, just because of the amount of people that were trading it or holding it from higher levels and the earnings report yesterday. That could all get blown through if there's big enough buyer, though, full stop. So let me know how that all goes, Phil, and good luck here for Big Bear. Kind of a range brewing. I don't know, Phil, if you want to try to play the range. I wouldn't be so quick to want to play the breakout on this, even though it did print a new high, because there is obviously a range looking to be established here. High 30s, now technically 340, but look at that support level at the mid-teens there, 315, 316, even the 320s. So it is ranging. My personal opinion, Q Phil, is trade it as a range until it shows you it's breaking out on a decisive basis, and then you can use that breakout level as your support stop. So let me know how that all goes, my brother, and shout out to you. All right, guys, here's the deal. Okay, we got involved in Summit. Again, I had a breakout trade on this one for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. We've got 17s on right now, so this one's going to have to continue moving up. I don't mind defending this into the 20 exponential because it's already shown you its intention to kind of use that level as support. There was like a 5 or 6 candle hold up there. So a 4 candle hold up there, excuse me. So that's the situation. We're in it right now, layering the orders. I don't mind, again, picking some up all the way into, pardon me, 2870s. Hopefully it doesn't drop as much into that level. So I'm just gonna layer my orders now for some dip trades on this one. And then that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna sit there as well in the low 90s for a possible add into there. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm still involved in RCAT, Summit, and AUR. Let's see how our friend AUR is doing. Didn't get my ad quite yet on AUR, nor have I gotten any profit takers. So it's been an interesting day today in the small cap gapper world. A tougher start. Full disclosure, it's been a bit of a tougher one for me so far. I'm negative on the day, but barely. Hopefully we'll work out of it. And some of these small cap gappers will start complying. We'll get some moves to the high side over here, Joseph.
Yeah, good look there. A lot of traders pointed this out. Neil as well, too. Robinhood right at the volume-weighted average price. So that could be a good signal as well, especially on a continuation of this trend. You can see that we're up about 5%, closer to 5% on that one. But this is kind of a missed signal on my behalf, and I was talking to you guys about it, and as soon as it printed, I knew. I was like, I should have just took a little small size on it. Oop, nope, this is it. Oops, we don't want that.
Get it, Adara.
Okay, there we go. We did connection reestablished. I got that in my ear. Did you get that? Here we go. 55. This was the signal, right? A nice print right here, a nice hammer signal right below the volume-weighted average price, and then you get the actual confirmation hammer right there, and you just continue to climb. So I don't know if we're going to construct a new high, so I would look for anything maybe on a lower high. If you do break that, then that's bonus in my opinion. But a really good look here on IBIT and NVDA continuing to climb. I know Gorev's looking at Microsoft as well too. And I'm curious to see what every other trader in the chat is looking at. If you want us to take a gander at anything, yeah, QBTS. I know these quantum names are really start. Yeah, wow, look at this thing really start to move here. D-Wave Quantum on QBTS here, all the way. Would we open up at here, Sharif?
What do we open up at?
708 here, $7.08. So a nice little move here from an intraday standpoint, about a 10% move, closer to 9, we'll call it, and continuing to climb. So quantum coming right back into play, and I think that's really important. Actually, let's take a look at our GTI from a daily perspective to see what we got going on, and are we ready to continue to climb? Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. This is a really good look here in RGTI. I mean, I think this move will be sustained. You can see that we were holding this the $6 level, 690. We'll call it. Really respect that. And then now we're starting to pick up here. So if that volume is sustained, we're punching through some key resistance zones. We're on the backside of this downtrend. So there could be some potential more buying here, and I really like the looks of that there, Sharif.
That's a good look, man. Yeah. Rigetti's going here, Joseph, man. Oh my goodness. Rigetti just won't stop. Here it's breaking out, man. It's at the high of the day, 1072. That's the print, 17.25% for Rigetti. Wow, man. I kept trying to dip trade this, Joseph. It just wasn't letting me in. So we're gonna have to look to do a little bit better on that one. That's the way the cookie crumbles there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're doing a live here. All right, on AUR, nice little take there at 8:15. Let's go ahead and set up a little bit lower than the high day at 18th, and then obviously we're going to set up higher than that for the take of the high of the day. So I did get my ad at $8 on AUR, so I'm pleased as dang punch about that. And it did pop up. So AUR, respectful of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. I happen to like all my setups right now. I really do, but none of them were really printing aggressively to the high side. I am really hoping that that does change, because the patterns that they're showing me on the chart are, in my perception, quite bullish, where you get that higher low situation. Whether it's on RCAT, whether it's on Summit, AUR, I'm kind of seeing what I want, but I'm not getting that aggressive break to the high side like we're kind of seeing on Rigetti. I very much would like something like the breakout on Rigetti. So that's the sitch we find ourselves in. Summit, we just took a print to the high side there. Please just punch about that. What do we got on there? We got 14s on SMMT. It's showing me 22s, so not a bad look. I've layered my orders on this one. I'm going to layer more orders. Let me just see how many shares I have on this one on SMMT. Yeah, we got some shares here, Joseph. Okay. Nice. All right, so we can do that. So let's go ahead and wait. My favorite number here, 25. I'm still interested in getting the dip trade, though, so nothing changes about my setup on SMMT. We're doing well here on, finally, there, RCAT taking out 88s, and now I'm waiting at 95s on RCAT. Okay, so good look there. Not the biggest trade. I'd like to get some more on RCAT. I've taken out too much too quickly here, and if we get 95s, I won't have that much left. And I really like the way that RCAT is setting up. It's a more prolonged bull flag, where you have that huge move up, that sideways consolidation, but that sideways consolidation is really holding the lower end of the range. And I you never really know how these things are going to go, but I really feel like we could get a flat top breakout over here. At least a test of 6. We're so close to 6. You feel like, we probably get into that $6 level pretty quick. So keeping an eye on that. Guys, Astis as well. ASTS. I don't have anything in this one. I haven't traded it yet. It's been quite respectful as well of the higher low situation, and it just took out the high of the day there, not by much, 27.55. It's up almost 20%, 19 2/3. ASTS, what I'm talking about. Good look there off that 20 exponential. It kind of feels like Summit and Astis, they look a lot alike. I wonder if they're in the same industry. SMMT and ASTS on top of each other there, and then look how they both find support at the 20, which is that yellow line. Kind of an unusual thing for these small cap gappers. They're not often respectful of the 20 EMA on the 5. At least that's been my observation. So yeah, that's what we got. Wow, RCAT. Oh, wow. RCAT just took out the day's high. Joseph, dang, son. All right, good look there. So we'll keep an eye out on that. What do you got, my man?
Yeah, I'm just being patient. I know a lot of traders are talking about Meta as well. Let's take a look at Meta. See what we got going on. Yeah, wow, Meta is right there. Chill vibes. That is that is a nice move here on META. We're liking this. I mean, if these big names are really getting the ball rolling. And see, here we go again. One more time. Get one more. Daft Punk. Yeah, exactly. Time. One more time here, guys. Like, we can go through a basket of stocks, and you're going to see the similarities in a daily price action print. So what this is just telling me is that maybe we're going to get a bounce, and we're sitting on the backside of channels. But punching right through that 590 level here on Meta and trading towards the high day. So this is what we want to see. Really good look on this one. Chill vibes. because I mean, this is what all the eyes are meant for, and I love it. Chill Vibes, Gorav, Los Pollos, Normal Special, my guy Mike the Rider as well too. Just pointing out good names and good quality setups, and that's what it's all about. But just be cautious of what we got going on. Microsoft, I personally don't trade from an intraday standpoint, and that's just me, right? So I was talking about to Joseph, another Joseph in the chat. I said, hey man, to be honest with you, as soon as it starts with bio, I don't trade it, right? I don't trade any of that biotech whatsoever, not good at it, and I want no part of it. And it just helps kind of dwindle my basket of stocks and condense it and not focus on something that I know I'm not good at trading. But here we go on Microsoft. Let's see if we can break out here, or we're just going to pull back if there's not enough buyers to step in and lift the price higher. But if we crack this downtrend or this trend line to the downside, maybe we'll come and test this pivot low, and then who knows, there might be potentially some more, because we are slightly extended on a couple of names here with the likes of NVDA, and I'm not going to say Amazon, but Meta's all the way up there. I haven't looked at Google yet today either, so we'll take a look on that one. But again, if we're going to be really strong today, some dip buys are potentially in the works. I'm not going to be trading Meta because it's slightly too expensive for my liking, and it's slightly spready too. So shout out to Adara on that one. But yeah, other than that, we like what we traded today on IBIT. That was a nice, being patient and just waiting for those levels and just kind of accumulating shares at the lows, right? And we were holding those lows really well. So it's just like, okay, just continue to buy up and in this range until you crack it, and therefore the thesis is invalid, and then you look somewhere else. But it worked out really well for us. You can see entry number one right here, add again, and then we just slowly piece it up and catching that whole top all the way to the top end of this trend, and then we get that pull back towards the volume weighted average price. And there's another short, a long opportunity right there, but it wasn't as extended. And then you can see now we've constructed that lower high, so no more traders to push that price higher, and NVDA is starting to pull back. And this is what I'm referring to, is just from like an orderly price action standpoint. Look at all this choppiness and indecision within the 5-minute prints. You don't want to see that. You want to see it more clean and more decisive as we continue to climb. So 115.43 is roughly that high a day here, guys. Let's see if we can get into those levels on some of these big names.
Yes, sir. Keeping an eye out on this one over here, where we got RCAT. We took out that 95s, and like kind of as I anticipated, we had that flat top breakout essentially through 85. That really seems to be that was the real level. Even though, you know, it was wicking up above 85, most of the rejections did come in at 85. So I'm keeping an eye out on this one. Definitely interested in seeing what it does at 6. Now it's got a 598 high a day, which is everything is great. But do we take the breakout through 6? That's not really going to be my move unless I see tape teleportation. What does that mean? Well, that means the tape starts getting crazy. Like, look how calm it is right there. Look at the very left. That's the time and sales. See how, you know, every now and again you'll see a few lines pop in there, different colors. So it's like orderly. It's calm. That's not how it always is, though. When the buy orders come in crazy at key levels, it'll just like, you won't be able to read it, right? It'll just be really, really aggressive. That's kind of what I'm looking for there for the breakout trade, to see that there's a lot of participation in it. I'm not going to get involved in it unless it does that for a breakout trade above 6. So I like RCAT. I don't think these dip trades are valid anymore, so we're going to cancel these ones. These were to add more if it did come into the 10 exponential. So RCAT, good luck, but definitely looking at trading it in a bit of a different way. Let's go back now to AUR. What do we got over here? We got O2s. I wet the beak there at 15, super quick. It's not really giving me that explosive move back into 820 that I had anticipated. So I'm a little bit worried now about AUR. I've moved up my stop from previously that 788 area. In fact, I'm going to cancel this dip trade also at 795 on AUR. That's no longer valid either. That's, well, because I've built the position that I want. So we'll keep an eye out on that. I'm also short this one, Wolf. This one did lose the volume weighted average price quite aggressively. So I'm just going to give this one 10 pennies for a possible rejection of VWAP. And it looks like it's respecting the 10 EMA from the south side. So I'm going to give this one a try. I don't short these ones often, but we're going to give it a try over here. Why not? It looks like it's quite directional to the downside. Be looking to cover around 420 or so, 415, because that's where the majority of the wicks were. So I'm anticipating that this area over here, which was previously previously resistance, likely acts as support if we do move down into that area. So those are the trades I have right now. Yeah, nothing really, no bangers today on my side, just, you know, some profit taking here or there. I want to also mention this one, ADPT. I didn't say a whole lot about this, but I should have been respecting this one a lot more. It was just super calm and wasn't doing much. It's up 40%, guys. And if you had the compunction to get in at the volume weighted average price here at 9.75 and you were able to give it a little bit of room, and by little, I mean like 10, 15 pennies, you'd be nicely in the money now, about 75 pennies. It just took out the high, 10.23 high a day. It's above this area spike right now. The implied balance high at 9.30 took us all the way up to 10.17. We took out that level. It's 10.23 now, which is the high. So ADPT, a fantastic look, but I got nothing on that one. Keep my eye on that one in case it really gets going here. Definitely want to be involved with that. Let's go back, look at AUR, because AUR, oh, that's Rigetti, my mistake. Where's my AUR trade? There it is. It's got some resistance here at 15s, but it's putting in higher lows. That's what's keeping me optimistic about the trade on AUR, that kind of rounded situation at the top. I don't want to say it's a bull flag. It just found support at the 10 EMA, and now it's each successive candle putting in a higher low, but not necessarily a higher high. So that's my look on AUR, Joseph. Short Wolf, long AUR, and long SMMT.
Nice work there. Okay, so we got some super chats here as well too. Wookware, $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Bought some WGS calls, 70 strike, 516 expiration cycle. Got in at 61, already 50% in the money. Love the show. Keep up the great
we love you,
work.
Bro.
Siren for you. Get the triple siren on that one there. So yeah, good work there on buying those options contracts. And hopefully locking in some of those profits as well too. So good luck there, Wookware. And then Ben Weiss, any relations to Steve? I think we asked that yesterday, and the answer is no. So yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's okay.
All right, let's take a look at SoFi. All right, so the super chat. Why do you think SoFi is having such a hard time? I'm long on it getting back to high from Tuesday, but it's painful watching it do nothing. Yeah, you know what? I really like how you just kind of emphasized on the fact that it's like it's painful watching it do nothing, and you can see the market has been trading higher and the ebbs and flows of it, and you're just kind of sitting in an underlying that isn't necessarily working for you. So with that being said, I'll start by saying, okay, if you've taken multiple attempts on the trade, then just leave it alone, right? You want to find something that is trending and working for you. But what we can look for is obviously, okay, so here it is. This is going to be my answer to you. So through 13 all the way to 15, and what was our high of the day? 1282. What are the chances of that? All right, so here you go. Who is it? Ben Weiss. Here you go. So starting right at 13, you can see the supply on the open interest really start to pick up relative to everything else below it. Okay, so base here as well too. So you see it consolidating within that small range. But what we have on the call side is significantly larger than what we're seeing on the put side. And then you can see right at 1286 is where we start to run into that overhead resistance. And then that's where the supply zones really start to pick up at 13, 13.5, 14, etc., all the way up to 15. So that can give you some explanation on that front. We got another $10 super chat. Thoughts on Riot? WCM, good tunes, $9.99 super chat. We will get back to your Riot thoughts on that right after we get back from Adara and Neil.
Here's the NASDAQ, beautiful little bull flag, almost textbook on this 15-minute chart. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Doing the exact same thing. These look very similar. IWM was looking pretty similar as well last time we checked. This one trying to break out right now, and actually right at $200. So great look for this Russell 2000, which has not been at that level in quite some time. Here is XYZ, the biggest earnings loser last night from a percentage standpoint. Excuse me, trying to break out, but rejecting her once again after an earnings disappointment. Amazon, Apple, Twilio, Instacart, among the other names that reported, and believe me, there were quite a few. Here is ASTS. This is not the chart I meant to have up here. We're going to take a look here as well at let's do TTWO, bouncing nicely off of these lows. Take Two, in case you missed it, said they're going to be delaying the release of GTA 6 until May 2026, where it was initially expected here in fall 2025. So keep an eye out for these earnings plays and for a variety of other movers. It's been an Exciting day to be sure, but it's going to get a lot more exciting with Neil and his lesson of the day. Make sure to stick with us and to follow us, like, and subscribe. And without further ado, Neil, take it away.
Thank you, Dara. I can't always promise you that a lesson is going to be exciting, but I think this one is going to be different from others. I think it'll be brief, but it's poignant because I've seen Joe do it, and I was doing it a little bit today in a couple situations. That's averaging up into something. A lot of times you'll see when getting into position, oh, it's like you want a better price, then take more as it goes against you. And so the first thing people think about is, well, you're long, it's going down, something has happened in the market, we just headed higher here, which is good. But you want to add sometimes as it's going in your favor. But you have to have a very good reason why you want to do so. So in this particular case in Robinhood, I know I had gotten wicked out at the top, but the entry was off the 50 level, it wicked the top, so we're back in when it fails 50. Now, why would I want to add to an against the grain short? Reason, it then broke the trend. So first reason to be in is 50, and then the next one is take the short when it breaks the trend into the downside. That's a reason to add as it's going in my favor. Another one was Amazon. By the way, Amazon is just moving. There's something happening just now. I'm going to see if I can't get something out on Amazon. But the other reason to add is you have breakout, hold, good trend to the upside where I'm looking for a breakout of a zone. I want to continue the trend, but I also like the breakout trade. It's almost like, think like an algo. You're taking two trades in one sometimes. The consolidation off VWAP is a valid trade. You know what, I'm going to hold this. Consolidation off VWAP is a trade, but I also really like the breakout at 190. So why not do both? You're getting the long and then you're adding to it as it's working for you. And it's the trend that makes me like it better. It's trending off the bottom. You're getting it in first because of volume weighted average price. So that's one entry rule I like. And then a second one in there, which I could be doing again, but there might have just been a news headline and I'm not punching in on that same breakout trade a second time here. So we're going to go back to Adara, and Amazon's going to go back to 191. Sometimes you should just average up because there's two reasons that you like the trade or two entry plans. So do them both as long as you're getting that confluence. It's better than adding to a losing trade. Adara.
There's actually two headlines. So I'll start with the market-related one, which came in a little bit after. Wall Street Journal reporting that Beijing is considering a fentanyl offer to the U.S. to start trade talks. We know that this trade, I guess, kerfuffle between all of these countries initially began on the U.S.'s part because they were concerned about fentanyl. Now, China reportedly considering a fentanyl offer to the U.S. to get these trade talks started. Reported by the Wall Street Journal. Here is the stock-specific catalyst, UBR, which came in moments before this other catalyst here. This is Uber. This one on watch here announcing with Momenta a strategic agreement for robotaxi development. So Uber and Momenta announcing a robotaxi development agreement. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Adara. So fantastic stuff. That volume spike in is absolutely fantastic. Gaurav, so this is where, again, so we came into the middle of the range, but look what happened. We held this support level really, really well, and I was actually just looking to get a long on it, roughly here, but I'm like, okay, let's wait for a retest. But yeah, it was a tougher one, right? The price action wasn't that orderly, so again, totally I understand where we're getting at, but it did pull back here, and it did hold some of these key support levels, so nice volume spike in that front. But yeah, we just didn't take advantage of it, which is unfortunate. That would have been a really nice trade for both you and I there. But here we go. Let's go NVDA. Look at that volume spike. Really step in here, guys. That's such a positive sign. I think we're at the point in this market because we were oversold down with the likes of 30+% in a lot of these big names. If you catch any form of tailwind, boom, you see these volatility and these volume spikes come in, and then sure enough, underlyings just shoot up. But SoFi, Ben Weiss, I don't know if you're still listening. Yeah, there we go. SoFi. Again, going from doing absolutely borderline nothing, not participating with the trend, to boom, you get that volume spike and you just punch through a bunch of key levels. And I think that's really important to note. So there you go. Really, really good look. But again, Gaurav, hindsight 2020, obviously. So unfortunately, it didn't work out for us, but there's going to be other opportunities here. So yeah, we just got to learn from those, see those levels holding up. Yeah, we can most definitely get back in if there is another opportunity, especially if this move is going to be sustained. But we're just absolutely soaring here in the market, and I love to see that. But yeah, let's go NVDA and IBIT. What a second opportunity missed as we start to approach the high day once again. But this time we have much more volume, and that's something very important to note. Hollow candles versus regular. Just curious if you have a reason for those hollow candles versus regular. Which hollow?
Because they're like on your white charts, on your
charts.
Yeah, okay, on this one here. Honestly, so when I first started trading, someone who taught me very well, and I'm very much appreciated to him, that's just how his charts were. He's like, I want it to be easy on my eyes. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. It's different, right, as opposed to just the red and the red and the green. I'm like, yeah, I like the white candle because for some reason it just I was attracted to it. So there's no specific reason. It's not like those what are those other candles called?
Which ones? Point of figure?
No, the ones that are just continuously. I mentioned it the other day. The name's just not coming to me. Heikinashi candles and stuff like that. No, they're just regular. It's just a preference, right? It doesn't matter. You can have your candles any color that you want. I know Wayner's got different colors. A lot of people do. So for me, just the white was easy on the eyes with the black border. It was literally that simple. But really nice look here on IBIT and some of these other major tech names as NVDA goes and climbs towards the high a day here. 115.22. Let's go here. Such a monster move. And, we've grabbed some more NVDA and some Bitcoin. So these names are really starting to get the ball rolling, and I'm absolutely loving seeing this market to climb higher. The big names are being the leaders, and that's exactly what we need to see.
I like to hear that, man. Good look today. I like it for the coin. Where are we at? 97, almost 97.7, Joseph, 97.689. Not a bad look there. Riot blockchain reporting yesterday. Oh my goodness, what a report. Well, I don't even know if it was good. We didn't even cover it. But that's really not the point. It's up 13% on a decent amount of volume, 13.2 million. Riot, you want to load up, brother, there? What's going on? Hello, Riot. There we go. This is a 1 minute on Riot. Very directional. Right at the open, you could see somebody was putting a market on open order there. Very aggressive, and it's been putting in higher highs and higher lows, up over 13%, and a good amount of volume. You'll see all the miners as well positive. Mara, 6%. CleanSpark, almost 5. Likewise with Hut 8, 4.89. CIFR, Cypher Mining, also up nicely, 4 1/3. So you're seeing all the mining names really catch a bid. Good look for crypto. Couldn't be happier, obviously. I'm invested in it, full disclosure. Obviously, Joseph is as well. So shout out to the both of us for taking that. I'm not involved in Mara, obviously. That was one of, man, that was an interesting trade, to say the least. Back about a year ago. MARA was quite a bamboozler. All right, guys, we're doing it not bad over here on AUR. Got the print there at 18s. It's still continuing to reject that 20 high a day. I've set up another beak wetter between 20 and 25 at around 23. We'll see what we get there. I'm still short Wolf. I was able to take some out down here, kind of convoluted. It looks like it's rejecting that $0.50. What I'm looking for is a lower high on WOLF with a tight stop because, these small cap gappers, you don't want to be taking too much size on the short anyway. At least I don't. So that's my look there. Not much else for me to talk about. Pony continues to kind of hang around the volume weighted average price, just a little bit above it. It's now putting in these higher low candles. Still having trouble clearing $11 though. Decisively, PONY up nicely, 29%. But well off the highs, 1168. But it looks like it is now taking at 11. This is going to be a good look above 1120 if we can get above there, because we had support initially at 1120 when we cleared that $11 area. We're kind of using 1120, 1115 as that area support, and then we lost it, I feel like around 1140 or something in and around that time slot. So PONY continues to move up quite nicely on the day. Keep your eye out on that one. Let's see what my short here on WOLF is doing. Still not getting prints in the 30s. Got a bunch of prints in the 40s. Let's see if this one can get below that 440 area again, and then we can possibly take some prints in and around there. It does look like there is some buying coming in here. What I'm looking for is a decisive close above the volume weighted average price. Haven't got that quite yet. We'll keep an eye out on that. Back to AUR. What are we doing over here? Now we're continuing to put in those higher lows. And now we're at 19s again, but unable to shake that 20 on AUR. So that $8.20 area. A bit of a tougher look now. RCAT as well, another one we were involved in. Where's my RCAT screen? There it is. Now this one's hanging out near the high of the day now, 599. That's the HOD. And RCAT's been putting in higher lows on the way to that 599, which shows you buyers are still in control here as we approach $6. So that $6 level still elusive, obviously, because the high of the day is $5.99. But that 10 EMA, the respect that RCAT has here for the 10 EMA, looks quite good. Could be breaking above that $6 area quite soon. Let's look. Oh, baby, there we go. Now we're getting some prints here to the downside on Wolf. Let's wet the beak a little bit more over there. So WOLF, we're taking some short over here. Let's set up some more shorts a little bit here in the 30s, and then we'll set up some in the low 30s as well to see if we can wet the beak on some profits. So what we're getting right now is a lower high. That's kind of what I'm looking for on WOLF, that lower high to manifest and to be able to take some in the 30s there, Joseph.
Yeah, great stuff, guys. We got you went over the riot as well too.
I did,
right?
yeah. You
good
can go
stuff.
over it.
No, that's fine. Random 34 TW, no, $10 Canadian. Thank you for that. This is all the love for Adara. I've seen the comments and the likes coming in. Adara must have the right to cut anyone off, announce big headlines. Please consider implementing that. Thanks, with love from Vancouver.
I got something to update them on.
Yeah.
Adara now has her own mic button that she can chime in anytime she wants on. No,
just
for the viewers as
into
well.
the viewers.
Yeah, so we were engaging her in dialogue yesterday. Sometimes it's harder for the production team to be able to switch her mic on super quick.
That's what I was getting at, right? Like, so even though we may hear Adara be like, "Hey, breaking news, I got something," we still have to wait for the production team to tell us that they're ready to go over to Adara. But now that she can chime in, that's absolutely fantastic. Adara, you're catching a lot of love. A lot of people are agreeing in the chat that at any moment, and I 100% agree, when we have breaking news like that and volatility stepping in, Adara is absolutely going to get it to us as soon as possible, as she just did. So yeah, thank you for that $10 super chat, Random, and a lot of people agreeing on that front end. Sharif and I are absolutely, everybody on the team is like, yeah, we need those headlines. And Stevenson said Adara is exactly what we didn't know we needed, but now we knew that. Now we know that we need that. So there we go. Whatever that means, I may be saying. But Amazon is absolutely ripping to the top side. This thing is just continuously going, gaining back all of that morning dump. I mean, go from last night, we're above that earning print open up when we got that earnings print last night. We're now north of that, trading around 191 and going to approach that pre-market high. I mean, we're about $1.20 away from that. But at this pace, I wouldn't be surprised if we run into those pre-market zones, because Amazon is being one of the stronger tech stocks. Obviously, alongside NVDA and Google, those are looking prime. And it's unfortunate that Apple is not participating with the rest of its pack, but it doesn't matter when we got Amazon, Google, and NVDA continuing to climb higher and going to test these highs of days. It's going to drag the market up with it. So Apple can do whatever it likes, and that's fine with me if it's not going to continue to climb. We took our stabs on that one there, Sharif.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. I just took out some more here on AUR as it took out that high of the day. So it's no longer an 820 high a day now on AUR. It's 821. So we took some there at 20, still waiting for some more at 24s. We'll see what we get there as this one continues to respect the 10 EMA on the 5. I don't want to take out too much too quickly, because you know this ends up breaking out and then you've got no shares left on, and then that ends up being more frustrating than actually not having the trade altogether, because then you say, oh, I had it, but I took everything out too quickly. I was too exuberant, this, that, and the other. So trying to pack my patience here with AUR, looking for some moves upside. I'm also keeping an eye on Pony, man. Where is my Pony screen? I think I took it off, actually. Let's see who we're going to take off. We're going to have to take off the SPY, man. Usually I leave the SPY on there permanently, but we've just got too many tickers today to leave the SPY up there on. So the reason why I'm looking at Pony right now, let me flip to the 5 on PONY. What are all these lines over here? No, I'll have to change those. So the reason I'm looking at Pony is because right now we're rejecting that 1120 area, 1125 area. That's the area that I said we would have, that we had support on, that we may have now resistance on. I just don't want to short it above VWAP. So I'm keeping my eye on Pony for the loss of around 10 and 2/3. If Pony continues to drop below 10 and 2/3, I might get some short there. I'll pack my patience on that one, see what we get. Also, ADPT. I was singing the praise of ADPT earlier, saying it was up 35%. We hadn't paid it enough respect, and it's been putting in these higher lows and higher highs. Well, here it comes, right into that volume weighted average price area. It's at 88s right now. This is a fantastic look. ADPT, that is ADPT. Let's find out if it's on the NQ. It is. Yeah, let's see if we can get something in here. Like volume weighted average price is at the, I want to say high 70s, low 80s. So let's go ahead and put a starter position here at the low 80s, see if we can get something on this one for a bounce off VWAP. That's going to be my thinking right now on ADPT, looking for that bad boy to bounce off that key level. Let's take some more out here on Wolf as it continues to drop down a little bit more. It's got a 3-candle red setup. However, it's not really losing VWAP that aggressively. So even though we have a lower high right now and what could be a flat bottom break eventually through that 4 1/3, it's not happening quite yet. That's why I've layered my orders to take advantage of a big move down. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw some more orders here in the mid-30s to take advantage of that. RCAT is at $6 now. So that's now the technical high a day. This one continues to respect the 10 EMA and put in higher highs and higher lows. 18 1/4 now for your friend RCAT. Okay, we just got into ADPT. It did wick down, so now what's the deal? We're going to give this one to the breach of 70. So let's go ahead and say 9. Yep, there we go. We'll put there, and then we'll give it all the way down to here in case it really loses the bid. Let's see if this one wants to pop back up and give us something to the high side there. Joseph, what do you got?
Nice work there. Zion Lala, any thoughts on kids? It's bouncing at VWAP. Yeah, Shreve will cover that there momentarily, but I'm in some SoFi. I'm not going to hold on to this for too long, especially if we crack this area right here. So right at 1274, I'll get out of the trade if we're not going to continue this trend to the top side. I do like this little consolidation phase here, kind of forming that bull flag type price action, but you can see that we had this is a genuine print too, so we had buyers push it and then sellers pushed it all the way down, but I'm just holding this base. We crack 74s, then I'm just going to get out of this trade, and maybe we'll be able to find some more continuation on that trend. But shout out Ben Weiss for calling out this one, and hopefully we can crack through 1280. I know I'm running against the supply levels, which isn't a good thing, but again, I do like the price action pattern. We do have multiple levels that we can crack through. Like this is a pre-market high, this is an opening range high, and then sure enough we got the additional high a day right there. So yeah, a really good look. Amazon is just absolutely being a monster. NVDA coming back to life, back to reality and everything along those lines. So we like it when NVDA is trading well. It brings the market higher. 115.23 and change here on NVDA. Let's get these dark pool prints out of the way for you guys so we can zoom in and see what we got going on. And there we go. I knew it was going to do that. Let me zoom this up here. Oh, yes, let's go, SoFi. Starting to break out. Great call out by Mr. Weiss himself. We like seeing that. I'm going to pull it up here momentarily. Let's get these charts in order. And then bang, look at that breakout there on SoFi. Precision entry on that front. I'm going to post up at 82s to see if we can catch a fill around there.
You're in a position, right?
Me, I am.
Yeah, he is, Andre. Okay.
Oh, why the position board isn't working? Here, I'm going to do an execution right now.
No worries.
Let's see if we can catch it. I'm posted up at 82. We need that bid to hit it in order for us to catch a fill. Maybe it'll adjust the positions board if we do catch it right here. But really, there we go. Boom. Bang. And there we go. You can see that we're in SoFi. Nice pop up right there. Took about 20% off of the position. Shreve working out really well.
All right. NIVF. Shout out to Ostentatious Productions. Very cheap. It's about 46 pennies, but it's on one hell of a breakout right now. So let's have a look at this. Whoa. What the hell is this? All right, so here it is. There's a headline from yesterday. What is this, man? All right, big move up here on volume. Just coming in now, obviously a 40 penny name. only about less than 2 million shares, but this is a newer trade. Look at the volume bars showing you where the volume, when the volume is coming in. NVIF is the ticker. Let's throw that on there. Shout out to my man, Ostentatious. You know how I feel about these sub $1 stocks, but that doesn't mean other people feel that way, so we'll bring them to you nonetheless. Big breakout. Oh my God. Talk about a Christmas tree in May. What is this shenanigans, man? Shenanigans on NVIF. Popping up from 31 into 48, right back down below 40, zigging and zagging a little above, a little bit below that 40 level print. Trade these carefully, people, please, because, you know, you want to have an account with which to watch the show with, right? So we'll keep an eye out on that quickly. Before we go back to Adara over here, we're taking prints on my friend ADPT, yet another hold up at the volume weighted average price. Adara, what's going on up there?
Looked into this NIVF for you, Sharif. It's called New Gen IVF Group. I looked into this to see if this company had any events it was supposed to appear at today. That is not the case. NIVF yesterday, Sharif mentioned, did have a headline. That headline is that it's going to undergo a 1-for-10 reverse stock split, which takes place on Monday. So no headline necessarily for today to get it moving, but I want to talk about the float and the short float because I do feel it's significant here. 935,000 share float, so under 1 million shares. That is very small, but what's not small is their short float. 10% short float, 935,000 shares. That is significant. Keep an eye on NIVF. And again, next week on Monday, when you try trading this, it is going to have undergone a 1-for-10 reverse split. Back to you.
That naughty NVIF. Look at that one, man. Making us think that it had a catalyst or whatever. Little punk. Guys, RCAT just taking out 6. It didn't even hold up at 6. Where's the size? Where are the sellers? Is it just so good that nobody wants to post any offers out at the whole dollar, the psychological resistance? This thing is just going, baby. Awfully respectful of that 10 EMA again on the 5. I'm talking about RCAT up 18.5%. This is just on one right now. Guys, I also want to mention your friend Rigetti, knees are heavy. Look, the deal is with this one, it's been insanely respectful of that 10 EMA. I mean, just look at this. Even that 3-candle red pullback at around from 11.15 to 11.30 got held up. But here we are again. At the 10 EMA, we're below $11. Well, sorry, we're below 1080 right now. We're below 1070 as well. So it is technically below that level. Let's see if it ends up using the 10 EMA again as that level of support. If it does this time, I'm punching in. Okay, I'm not going to wait anymore. Otherwise, I'm going to have to wait for it to come back down into VWAP. I won't be picking it up off the 20. It's either going to be the 10 or the volume weighted average price. I don't mind waiting a little bit because what we saw here is when you waited, you ended up getting more. So you don't need to be first, guys. I'm talking about Rigetti. Mom spaghetti, as Sean always likes to say.
You got a face slapper on RCAT there.
No, I'm done that trade, bro. Don't even get me started. That's a bad one there, Joseph. Yeah, I should have been holding. I look, bro. I mean, today it's been a tough one. All right, let's wet the beak here on Wolf again. We'll take some more out on that one. Yeah, Wolf has been a tough short. It's been, I think, I still like this though, so I don't want to take out too much too quickly here on Wolf. No, we got some size. We got some size, so we can pack our patience here. It's Rigetti, Joseph, that I really want to make the decision on right now because that's the one that's been very strong on the day. It's been respectful of the 10. It's below it right now, so you're not going to catch me punching in right now to Rigetti until I see a very clean and decisive hold of the 10 EMA. If we don't get it, I just won't punch in. Simple as that. AUR, what are we doing here on AUR? Where's my AUR trade at? All right, so we're still hanging out at high days, and we're still putting in higher lows. So AUR and RCAT look very similar, okay? In that they're both kind of stair-stepping up with that rounding effect from the bottom. So good look for AUR. Still waiting for that next print at 8.25. We'll continue to pack our patience there. How are we doing here on Wolf? Continuing to put in topping tail candles, but sadly still above the volume weighted average price. And all these orders here still haven't filled here on WOLF, but we are short this one. Go ahead, Joseph.
Absolutely. Guys, check it out. We all know the saying, big opportunity comes with big risk. But what if that wasn't true anymore? Trade the Pool is redefining what risk means for traders. No more risking your life savings to prove yourself in the market. They give you access to company capital up to $200,000 to trade real stocks, no CFDs, and your downside is limited to a single one-time fee that starts at just $47. That means no blowing up your personal account, You get to trade with serious buying power, all while knowing your loss is capped. Trade the Pool now offers an unlimited time during the evaluation. You get the freedom to trade your way with no time pressure. Visit tradethepool.com and see how far your $47 can take you. That's fantastic stuff. I told you guys, tuition is inevitable in the market, and you're going to pay it regardless of how good or bad you think you are. It's just how it is, man. So all of us have done. I paid again, and I'm probably not over. That's the thing. One thing I love about Obi, and sorry to get sidetracked here, he's a consistent student of the game, like a consistent student of it. So I love that aspect, and I think throughout this whole tenure, however long you're going to be trading, you're going to be paying tuition no matter what it costs.
So it is, bro. I mean, like, because the market's not static, Joseph.
No.
The market's constantly becoming more efficient.
Absolutely.
And as it becomes more efficient, all your edge gets closed up. And you got to figure out another edge.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
You're telling me, I mean, like, with the tariff news,
I know you already know that.
Right? Like, like, what was working for me before didn't. And I had, like, a month and a half, 2 months of like just absolutely garbage trading, and it's also my part too to kind of just adjust, and it took that long for me to adjust, but now that I have that under my belt, hopefully that I can adjust when sentiment changes in the market, hopefully I can adjust that much faster. And I think that's the ultimate game plan, right? That's what makes really great traders, is the ability to adjust time over time and quickly adjust at that. But sorry, what's his name? 6VTO or something along those lines.
Okay.
Starts off by saying, loaded the boat on Tesla when you sold yours, Joe. Doing pretty well so far. Then goes to ask me, do you recommend holding or taking some profits? That is insane. I love it. No, we were obviously joking around 6TOV. I love it too. I was talking about Tesla. Pour some salt in the wound and then goes ahead.
I don't understand.
I mean,
do people enjoy this? Like, I got this guy.
Yeah, I got
on
this
the
guy.
show today. I'm feeling good about myself. It's Friday.
No, it's all chuckles. I know he's messing around. And it's honestly, I find it funny as well too. So it's funny, and I like the jokes like that. But yeah, I like what you were getting at on that front. So this is my plan. We talked a little bit about Tesla earlier, and how kind of we're seeing similar price action prints within a lot of these big tech names and some other underlyings. I think that once we crack this 294.15, then I think there's going to be some more room to pull back. I mean, we're still down 30+% in this name off of those all-time highs. So if we sit on top of this range, best believe there's going to be some more continuation within that. And then the next question is, what is the next level that we're going to look at? And that could be possibly 328.92. So if you ask me, if we reject this once again, maybe look to lock in some profit. And then, but again, also if we sit on top of the range, there might be an add opportunity into that next resistance level, which is going to bring us right around to 328.92. That's exactly what I would do. So again, breakout, hold on to that, look to peace out into the 20s. If we reject it once again, look to lock in some profits.
Bang. Shout out to Joe. That was a great call out there. Guys, we're taking prints here finally on your friend Wolf. Lots of different ones little triggered there on the way down, but it's not losing VWAP that aggressively. I just want to make that very clear that this is a thicker, a tougher trade to the short side. It's below VWAP, it's putting in lower highs, but the buyer exuberance remains on WOLF. So even though we're printing on it, it seems to be a bit of a tougher trade. Now I'm still focusing on my friend Rigetti because it just broke down below the 10 EMA, and it didn't get to the 20, and now it's trying to work its way back into the 10 EMA. I won't be taking this as a long until it makes a 5-minute candle to make a new high, and it's got currently the previous 5-minute candle. The high of the previous 5-minute candle is 1078 or 1077, okay? We're at 71s. I need that to close above that level on a closing basis before I weasel back in. It's because the reason I say that is because it didn't hold up at the 10. So it's not like I can say, look, it's a really respectful of the 10 EMA, let me get in there, it's a key level of support. No, it breached it. It closed below it as well. and it's got a bottom or a kind of a hammer looking candle into 1060. It's moving back above that 75. So I need to see whether the sellers in the previous 5-minute candle are going to get overwhelmed by the buyers this time around. And the only way for me to gauge that is to see whether we can close above that previous candle print. So 77, 78, I'm a buyer in that area. We'll keep an eye out on that. How's my adept trade doing? Okay, ADPT, we're doing it live over here. We just took out, we're about 18 pennies in the money or so. Just took out the second beak wetter. The third beak wetter, though, unfilled. Let's throw in the fourth. We're going to wait at 10.05. So let's see if we can get above that $10 area on ADPT. The high day on that bad boy is 10.28. So let's see if that one wants to continue working its way to the high side. ADPT is the ticker there. What's my other trade doing over here? Let's have a look at our friend AUR. Still hanging out below 20s. Still putting in higher lows, though, so not a bad look. How's my other trade here on WOLF? Moving back into the volume-weighted average price, still putting in lower highs, though. I'm going to start thinking possibly here on WOLF, now that it's kind of giving me that wave pattern, and anybody who's traded these harmonic patterns knows kind of what I'm talking about. These are kind of like, it just sounds like what it is. It's waves. But you know, the subsequent wave, a little bit smaller than the previous wave, but it's got a lower high, maybe not necessarily a lower low. So what I'm thinking on this one is the moves back in to an area high are excellent for short opportunity. And what's good about that kind of thing is that you know where you're wrong. Let me make my case. So for example, look at how we held up at 450 over here. That's where I got short, right? So we move back down, we test that 4 1/3, but we defend that 4 1/3. If we move back up, I'll be looking for a lower high below that 450. Let's just say, for example, 445. So then I add to my short at 445. But I know I'm wrong if it takes 450. Why? Why do I know I'm wrong there? Because what I'm looking for is that consistent pattern of lower highs. If that pattern gets breached by printing above 450, then that's the end of the trade. So I like these kind of patterns where you say to yourself, this is where I'm wrong, and I end the trade there. So the idea will be to add into the pops here with my official out and my ultimate out, I should say, on the short on Wolf if we get anything above that 4.5. So we'll keep an eye out on that. That's what I'm looking for there. AUR continues to try to test that 420 or 820, excuse me. I'm still unfilled though at that 8 1/4. Let's go to ADPT. Oh my goodness, RCAT. All right, it's time to get back into RCAT over here. We're going to go small size on RCAT. We're going to get in, but we're going to go small size, and it's going to have to hold up above 595, so that's what we're going to do. 594, because I'm just not going to watch this go again without me over here. So we'll set up some beak wetters on this if it wants to get going. RCAT's kind of a slower trade, though, full disclosure, so be ready to pack your patience on this one. Anything below that 595, though, we're gonzino, so let's throw that in right now, and then there we go. So now we've got the stop in place, the beak wetters in place, all is gravy, baby. Keep an eye. Oh, there we go. Now ADPT printing me to the high side. So now we got a few beak wetters out on this one. We still got some size on, so we can take some more. So let's go ahead and set up the other print now above that 1010 area. I'm going to wait at 15s and see what we can get there. So ADPT, AUR, and RCAT long, Wolf, short, Joseph.
Yeah. Marco, I don't know if I switched. I just do both. I don't get the, maybe there's a little inside joke there that I'm not catching, but HTX trader, don't you think the increase in Tesla after Trump was elected and Elon appointed to Doge was an artificial increase to 400 plus level? Kind of like COVID highs and now they've come down.
It's a trade. It's a trade. It's like people were punching into the trade and people took it, they rode the wave, and it corrected. How many times have we seen that?
That was,
right?
yeah, honestly,
you know what I mean?
That's exactly how it is, right? Yeah. And then, sure enough, when I'm getting out, you get the bounce. And individuals like 6TO are buying when I'm selling. So he actually, yeah, he's actually. So
he's not gonna let this go. Yeah. It's gonna haunt him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, by all means, yeah, like I literally sold him the shares that he bought, and then they continued to climb. No, we're only messing around. SoFi got me here on a liquidity grab, guys, as we continue to climb. Just filled me right at my break even and then just went on that nice move. So you can see that little bit of a liquidity grab right there on that front. But it's unfortunate what Apple is doing here. It's not participating with the big names, and that sucks because I do believe this market would be climbing significantly higher if Apple was participating, but it's not, and that's okay. So yeah, other than that, guys, you see what we had going on SoFi, IBIT being the trade of the day for us, no questioning that front. And still slowly grinding higher, so that's a positive note here on SoFi. Bitcoin coming back in, Amazon obviously coming back in off of those highs, and NVDA just hovering right above the volume-weighted average price. But what is really strong here and balanced off of VWAP is Goggles itself there, Sharif. So looking, looking really, really good here on the intraday. Nice VWAP hold right there, and then just going to take that second leg higher, and it looks like it with this momentum it may breach that high a day there. So there we go on GOOGL. SoFi, I'm going to change this because I don't want to watch it climb without me as we break through some key levels, but there is a lot of overhead resistance that we need to watch out for. No, Ali, I'm out of SoFi now. That's why you don't see it. It was on the positions board earlier. But you can see a couple minutes ago, approximately 5-6 minutes ago, I got out of that trade. Let's see what everybody else is saying. Good repoint on Apple, says value, family value. Thank you, Joseph. Look at PLTR, says my guy Gorev.
Okay.
On the weekly, if it holds the highs, man, we could be taking out the all-time high soon. And I agree with you. And that's kind of what my thesis is on Bitcoin. If we're going to go and test these all-time highs, especially after what we've seen, it's broken down, it's consolidated. I think that now there's enough liquidity absorbed that we can go for those pushes. And I think it's the same instance here on PLTR. Because once an underlying starts to make that push like this, like, wow, Palantir, like now it's just like a fraction of a percent off of those all-time highs, like 1% off of that all-time high. So I do believe that it's going to crack that 125 level and continue to climb higher. So yeah, Palantir has been an absolute monster. One red day in the past like 10, 12 sessions is absolutely fantastic. But as for Bitcoin, I think it's going to be kind of the same scenario, and we're not too far off the all-time highs either in Bitcoin. But you can see we went on this consolidation phase nice and long. It was approximately 6-7 months or whatever it was. You get that break higher. We only trade higher for about a couple of weeks, 3 weeks to a month, and then we put in this double top, and then we grab some more liquidity. And now we're going back to test this level again. If we can see some continuous buying, and you see the strength, we have the inability to break through some key support levels, that can give us a positive signal saying, hey, we're going to go and test those all-time highs. And if you see us start to consolidate around those specific areas and we don't reject them aggressively, and you see that momentum step in a day or two later, that's when we can get the break of that. And then I do truly believe is when we get into that blue sky territory. And we can see those mid-teens, 113, 114, 17, et cetera, all the way up into the 20s. Is that going to happen right now and by the end of next week? I don't know, maybe possibly, but you want to take one step at a time.
All right, here we go. Just give me 1 sec to throw this. There we go. We're good to go. All right, guys, I know I've got a lot of positions on today, but whatever. We're doing it live. So that's the situation. I'm just throwing out my orders on Rigetti. Knees are heavy. So this one has got a 3-candle red setup. It's well off the highs, though, so I've given this one 10 pennies a risk. Let me review the other trades that have gone on. ADPT, we've got one more beak wetter left. It's either going to print 10.15 or I get stopped out. We did well on this one. I like the volume-weighted average price retracement on your friend ADPT. It's been money on the day. Let's see if it continues to be money. I don't have to worry about risking much now because I've only got one more out on this beak wetter. We also got involved. RCAT, again, I punched in here, Joseph, like a psycho above that $6.10 area, $6 area. Now we're printing to the high side here at 16. Just got the beak wet there. Next level, 19s on your friend RCAT. It's at the day high as we speak. So that's ADPT that I covered. RCAT, how's my friend AUR? We're continuing to put in those higher lows. There's a seller at 20. I haven't even watched in the level 2. And I won't be convinced otherwise. There's a seller at 820 on this one. So we'll keep an eye out on that. I just got more here on Wolf because I was almost done my shares. The beautiful thing about this entry, as I made very clear, is getting more short here. I know exactly where I'm wrong. I'm only wrong like 5 or 6 pennies above the area where I got in. Anything above 453, I'm out. Adara's got breaking news.
I do. Here's MGNI. This is Magnite. Also keep an eye on TTD. These names are both in kind of that ad space. And they're on watch as I'm seeing a headline coming through here on X. Apparently, the U.S. Department of Justice has asked a federal judge to break up Google's ad tech operations. Google itself is not really reacting too much to this. It's still very nicely at day's highs, but regardless, keep an eye on some of these ad technology plays, including TTD and MGNI, as the U.S. Department of Justice reportedly asks a federal judge to break up Google's ad tech operations. Back to the Bash Brothers.
We appreciate that, Adara. Okay, so let's see how our friend Rigetti Knees Are Heavy is doing. So have we taken any prints? The answer to that is no. What do we got on Rigetti? Mom Spaghetti 78. So we're break even on it now. I've layered the orders up, so I'm looking for that break of that 80 penny area. Hopefully it triggers a bunch of different orders there. RGTI, continuing to wait on that. I see SMMT is at VWAP, and it's been holding at VWAP for 3 candles. I'm 0 for like 3 on this. So this is single-handedly why I'm still negative on the day. SMMT, this piece of you-know-what. So I've got a rule. Whether or not it's a good setup or not, I clearly haven't been reading it the right way. So the fact of the matter is, I'm not going to execute on it whether I like the trade or not. I just, you know, you got to draw the line somewhere, so to speak. So SMMT holding up at VWAP, but definitely not taking that. We just took a print there on Rigetti. It's above the 10 EMA, having trouble though clearing 80s. So I'm not concerned, but just monitoring it certainly there. RCAT, how many shares do we have left? We still got some shares here on your friend RCAT, so let's take out some more here at the high of the day. Let's see if we can continue to move up and try to get 19. So I'm keeping my eye. I've got a lot of trades on today, 5 trades, guys, on these small cap gappers, 1 short, 4 long. Wolf, that's the only short that I've got on. And again, I really want to make very clear, the reason I added here on Wolf, number 1, I exhausted a lot of my shares, so I would like to get more. Number 2, if this ends up being a lower high, I'm talking about this area right here, I know where I'm wrong, right? Because if we get a higher high, then I'm just out, and it's so close to that higher high area that it wouldn't be smart for me not to take it. So I added to my short on WOLF. That's exactly kind of how I see it. We'll see if I'm right or wrong about that. Let's look at our friend AUR. No, it's Rigetti. Where's my friend AUR, Joseph? There's just so many. Yeah, this one's still having trouble with 20s, man. Ridiculous. It's still having trouble with 20s, but I'm going to have to pack my patience on this one. I knew that was going to be the case. Even though it's an 821 high a day, you can see it just wicks into that 820 level, and then it's met with some selling. So that's the situation. Shout out to my man, Other Zinc. I didn't even do a lesson, but, you know, if my rants midday are categorized as a lesson, all the better, baby. So shout out to my one of the OGs there, Other Zinc. I don't know what he's the other Zinc. Who's the original Zinc?
Who's the original Zinc?
Yeah, what is the other Zinc? Adara wants to know. Like,
people have questions.
I call him, pardon me?
Hold on, Adara, did you hit your mic there?
I did. I said
so people can hear you now, right?
So I have a mic now, as was alluded to earlier. Thank you very much for the person who did that super chat. But basically, I now can have the power to come in whenever I would like and respond to the shenanigans that occur here.
I have the power!
And also to share news.
So you automatically go to that little window right there? I guess I don't know if you can see it. Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of production team we got around
here. This is my window. To our production team. Thank you to everybody watching, and I will leave now.
Bang.
See ya. No, but I really do like that. And did nobody get the reference? I have the power? He-Man? Come on, bro. No, he doesn't do it that way, Dara.
I
have the power, and he holds a sword. Neil,
everybody knows.
Help me out here, bro.
Yeah, everybody knows.
He-Man. I have the power. You know who I like? Who's so sinister? Skeletor. What an excellent villain, bro. Skeletor. Where is he at? Let's bring in my man Skeletor over here.
Going back to
oh
Dino
my God.
Age.
Yeah, we're old, Joseph. We get it. I don't even know. There he is. He's so sinister, Joseph. Look at him. I love him. Look at
I love him.
You post it. You go somewhere. You see this guy. You're running, my boy. That's the thing.
I ain't running.
You're running. Look at this guy. He's these.
Of course I know him.
Look at that. He's got claws and stuff.
Does he got hands though?
He's got hands and a sword.
You don't know that.
And he wears a hood. You can't even see he's got a skeleton inside the hood.
Okay, yeah.
How are you not scared of this?
The hood is what got me there. The hood. As soon as I heard about the hood, I'm like, all right, I gotta watch out for this guy. 'Cause he's wearing a hood.
I love it. The hood is what got him, guys. Not the muscles or the claws. He's terrified of the hood. Shout out to Joey Options, man. Always entertaining my stupidity, and we're having a good time on the show. We're doing it freaking live, all right? For the guy that was mad that I kept saying that earlier, I'm gonna keep saying it. All right, Jody, what do you got?
Do you know what he is talking about? I'm lost, says Boy Yacht Club. Yeah, I mean, you must be born in the 2000s at that
Hold
point
on,
there,
man.
Boy
We're going to
Yacht
have to
Club.
do this. Can Fabian,
Fabian,
are we able to set up like a little He-Man reel where like we can hear him saying, I have the power?
No one wants, the people aren't asking for that, man. They want a Dare. We need a Dare on the news, not He-Man.
No, we're going to hear He-Man, bro.
We don't need that. Come on, get out of here.
I have the power.
Not enough demand for the He-Man. I have the power. On that one, but anyways, all fun and games, man. It's Friday.
Bro, don't disrespect He-Man like that, man. Like,
didn't Arnold play him?
A whole bunch of
Arnold
disrespect for He-Man there, man.
Arnold played him, no?
He did, I think so. Did
in
he?
the live
No,
action.
did he actually?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
Or
not
was
even
that
sure.
Conan? Or did he
that
play?
was Conan.
Conan,
the Barbarian.
Conan and He-Man,
Lundgren.
same person essentially.
The people want him, Joseph. The people want him. See, you aggravated the people.
Let's go. It's all right.
Joseph.
That's crazy. Put the poll up. That's all that matters.
We want it.
Yeah,
we want it. Bring on He-Man,
Let's
Ricardo.
go.
My man.
That's crazy.
Ricardo.
Apple breaking out here, man.
Yes,
I was gonna.
Go Apple.
See, the thing is, though, I'm like, do I really want to be participating in this name when it's not doing anything? But a nice slow curl over, holding those lows really well. So key support levels coming in right at that 205 level, and then now slowly starting to curl over. So, yeah, good stuff on that front. Someone said Jared Leto was He-Man or Skeletor. You don't know Jared Leto? Come on, that's my guy. Yeah, longing Skeletor. Okay, maybe there is the demand for that one there. I have the power.
Oh,
there, sure.
no. Oh, no,
Yeah.
Joseph.
Maybe the demand is there, so we got the supply, guys, so we can maybe set that one
Good
up there.
vibes, homie.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, SoFi, what a nice trade here on the day. It's unfortunate that we didn't get back into this one, but that's okay. We'll find something else, especially with this market continuing to climb. Google putting in a new high day. I mentioned that not too long ago. At that pace that we were moving at, it was going to breach. So there we go. Oh, David Sierzak, much appreciated. Gifts 5 memberships. Much appreciated on that front there, brother. SoFi continuing to climb higher. Google at the high a day. NVDA starting to pull back in towards the volume weighted average price, but Amazon still climbing high, and the overall market as well too, Sharif. So that is a positive sign. $10 super chat.
Okay.
Ben Fishin, I have the power. By the power of Grayskull, real cartoon, not the Pokemon bleep.
Oh.
Dang.
And I want to let you know that Eric McCambly, tell Joseph that He-Man was a prince.
Ooh.
So you can't be disrespecting princes.
Okay,
like
so
that.
now that he, okay,
You know
yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
right, there you go.
It's
That's
a
my bad
dangerous
there.
proposition.
Now that he's a prince, I definitely can't make him. Didn't know that one.
Now he knows that Skeletor has got a hood. He likes him more. I happen to like that.
Yeah.
And shout out to my man Eduardo in the chat. He's like, bro, you are nuts today, Sharif. I am from your generation, but cannot see what attracts you to Skeletor. I'm not attracted to the guy. You know, this is a farce, right? We're being satirical here, right? Like.
Yeah, he likes Xena. Xena, the princess warrior.
Now
we're
we're talking, Joseph. Now we're talking. There's Xena. There's other ones as well. Who else we got, man?
Who played Xena? Who's your favorite?
What's that woman that kisses the dudes and sucks their power? Rogue? Is her name Rogue?
Ooh.
She kisses men and then she like
the
saps their power.
The X-Men.
Is her name
individual.
Rogue?
Is it Rogue?
Who's here? Guys, you guys don't know
Hey,
this?
I've
I figured the Chilean
wanted to let
Nightmare
you know,
would know
I
this. Here, let's
put a
pull it
goal
up.
right there,
Poison
so if we
Ivy.
get 10
No,
super
I
chats.
don't like her.
You don't like Poison Ivy?
Rogue Heroes. Yeah, the hero. Hold
No,
on,
you
hold on.
can't. No, they're distracted. They're not paying attention.
Let's see. That's not it.
That's
Rogue.
not
It's not from Marvel.
Is it? Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
There it
blue-
is.
the blue
Yes,
girl,
yes,
right?
this woman.
Rogue. Oh, you like?
Can we
Rogue.
show that? Yes.
Oh, that's
Rogue.
Cyclops girl.
That's Cyclops
Yeah,
girl?
so he's already taken, man.
Oh,
Cyclops got that one there.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
Here, can we show my screen? This is Rogue, by the way. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Marvel Comics, Rogue.
There you go.
Yeah. She was cool.
Maybe we work out that from Mississippi.
Work out for me. Work out for me. All right, guys.
Rogue.
It is a Friday. I hope you guys are having fun with us today. We're keeping it light. We're taking trades, though, in case you didn't notice. But we're keeping it light today, guys. We're trying to have a good time. I hope we're not really bugging anybody. I hope everybody's enjoying the banter, and I hope everybody has a fantastic Friday. Obviously, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Goes without saying there, Joseph.
We are bugging.
Patty's chiming in.
Patty.
Oh, he might be mad at you here because I think you disrespected He-Man, so he's probably going to be quite upset.
Going to give me some trouble here.
Pardon me? What should I do? Oh, thank you for that. What is that, Fabian?
What is that there? Hold on.
For the power of Grayskull.
No. We got to get that higher there. They can't be 10.
Hold on.
Is that
so what do we have to do here? Super chat. Shout out to my man, Ben
okay.
Fishin. He's dropping the cash in the chat there, Joseph. This is the best day trade on TV in history. Shout out to you, my man. We're having a good time today. Shout out. Fabian wants you to know that if you guys want that, the goal ends in 57 minutes, so it's not like you have the most amount of time to do it. So shout out to you guys. You guys want it, you're going to have to do it. Shout out to my man David. No wonder you all ended up at Traders, ya nerds. Thank you, bro. Look, bro, I don't barely watch any of this stuff. This is from my childhood. Cut me some slack, man. But thank you for the comment anyway. Shout out to the Chilean Nightmare. I didn't even know we could do that, Fabian. I didn't even know what this thing was about. So that's the situation, guys. Hope everybody's having a good time with us here. Joey, tell them what you're looking at, my man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still holding on, watching SoFi kind of climb without me, but some of these big names are really starting to pull back in here, guys. But Amazon being really strong, hovering around those higher days, and the Qs and the SPY as well too. But you can see that NVDA has come back towards the volume weighted average price, and that kind of that slow breakout here on AAPL is starting to pull back in as well too. But what a beautiful base and nice curl over in the price action here. So you would have caught a 2-point move roughly if you were to get in around these base lows. So that one's yeah. I mean, if you guys rich nerds, yeah, I wish. But yeah, thank you for that one, Ben Fisher. They're coming in. I mean, this is truly going to see if the demand is there for that He-Man animation, that gift. But there we go. Much appreciated on that one. Let's see what everybody else is up to in the chat. KK14. No, this is from my childhood. We used to watch He-Man, Voltron, Transformers, G.I. Joe every day.
Okay, so clearly him and I are the same age.
KK14.
Very close. I'm assuming you also likely watched, what is that show? Cops. Cops with Berserko. Who remember? Neil. Of course he remembers Berserko. That you know what I liked about that the most, Neil? The introduction, the opening credits for the music for that show. That was the best.
With like the actual reality show Cop?
No, not the Fox one where they arrest criminals. This was a cartoon. It was like just made of crazy characters and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right, Joseph, go ahead.
Ozan, listen up. New traders, listen up, Ozan. New traders, listen up. First month free. That's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform is everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with back testing, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description there. Folks.
Man, there's a whole bunch. Thundercats. Captain Planet. Can you believe that I still remember Captain Planet introduction music? Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna bring pollution back to zero. Oh my God!
I don't even know the show. But it's
bro. Is that Trump? Oh, come on, Fabian.
Come on, Fabian.
Come on, Fabian. Fabian's just dropping hot lines in the chat like that. Come on, Fabian.
Oh, Adair said, oh boy.
Oh boy is right, baby. The Jetsons.
The Jetsons.
Oh, that was a good one too. Captain Planet. Captain Planet was terrible. I have to agree with Neil. It's just the music was really interesting. It was like very, hey, we're driving our agenda home at the very young level so we can kind of, get them thinking our way kind of situation. I don't like to be indoctrinated. Whether the indoctrination is good or not, I don't like to be indoctrinated. I have to come to that idea myself. So that's the situation. Joseph, I want to update a couple of things over here. We got stopped at a Rigetti. We got one quick beak wetter, but that one did lose the previous area low, so I got stopped out of that one. Continuing to take prints here on RCAT, but I'm very close to actually getting out of this one. What I've done is I've moved up my stop from 594 into 6, so it's going to have to hold 6. Also, AUR taking some prints on this one, and then continuing to take more prints on WOLF as it continues to put in lower highs and lower lows. We'll see what this one does. Keeping my eye on that one. We've got 4 positions on right now, 3 longs and 1 short. I'm keeping an eye on this one. Patrick Riley, Magic School Bus.
Yeah, that's a fire.
So Fabian remembers it. So does Joseph. I'm 100, so I don't remember it, or I don't know it. I don't know it, Neil. Magic School Bus, I actually legit don't. Yannick Nesbeth, KIDZ is back. Let's have a look at KIDZ. Let me just see what the situation is. Yeah, it's getting above VWAP, my man Yannick. But look, it's going to have to take that pre-market high, and that pre-market high that we put in at 5:50 a.m. is around $10, a little bit higher, 10 and a quarter. So I won't be touching it until it comes into 10 and a quarter, but I will put an alert for that level. Thank you for calling that out. City Boy. Samurai Jack? Samurai Jack? Don't know.
Samurai
Sorry. That deserves a bang, says Brandon Franklin. Bro, you don't have to tell me twice to hit the bang button, man. Keeping an eye. Let's look at what other comments are coming in here. Casey France, Speed Racer. Don't know that one either. I just don't. I'm sorry. Andy Fisella. Johnny Quest, Speed Racer, mic drop.
No, I think Johnny
I do remember
Quest,
Johnny Quest.
That's new.
But I've seen it,
like
whether
Johnny
I watched
Bravo.
it or not.
Johnny Bravo is better than Johnny Quest.
Okay, Joseph.
It is.
Inspector Gadget. Okay, that transcends generations, bro. If you don't know about Go Gadget arms and Go Gadget legs and Go Gadget helicopter, I don't even want to have a conversation with you.
I don't
even want to be saying the same room as you.
I was a young kid, and you know how McDonald's sell those toys? You could buy the Go Gadget, but you had to collect one piece at a time. Yes. And
like a
buildable, yeah, right? And so obviously I collected the full Inspector Gadget on that one.
I told you, transcends generations. 10 years my junior right here.
Yeah.
So you guys know what's up there. Space Ghost Coast to Coast, says Casey Frey. Adara knows what it is. I have no idea.
I do not know why, but my dad was weirdly into it. So I did. Space Ghost Coast to Coast is basically Space Ghost, the character, but if he had a talk show. It's really weird, but it's iconic, and I'm out.
Adara just comes in and leaves. You can't just do that to us, Adara.
Yeah.
He's just slamming the door in our face. It's literally us talking to you at the doorway and you just shutting the door in our face.
What can I say? I'm like PayPal. We have to close the door.
Shut the damn door, says our friend, what's his name? Jerome, where is he at? Do we have him over here, Joseph? Is this it?
Do we ever got?
Oh, that's
no, that's Kathy. Do we ever got Jerome?
Oh, whoa. You got the basketball Jerome?
I have basketball Jerome.
There he is, baby. There you go. Take him to the hole, Jerome. Take him to the hole. All right, guys. Took some more beak wetting here on WOL. As it continues to make lower lows and lower highs, guys. I feel kind of bad about this Summit trade. Let me tell you why, because now it is breaking out. Good look now above Summit. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles in a row off the volume weighted average price that have made higher highs and higher lows. So something's afoot with Summit over here. I'm 0 for 3 on it. So I have a rule, you just got to draw the line somewhere. So I don't want to take it long at the moment because I have not executed on it well.
Sharif?
What's that?
So where's your new mic, buddy?
I wore it yesterday. I don't really care for it. Why are we wearing these?
Dang. Let's put it on, man.
Okay. All right, so we'll continue to watch that. Joseph Birch music. I love that. That is great, Sharif Adara. Just like a quick scalp and out with the profit. Yeah. We'll continue to get the door shut in our face. No problem there. Everything is hunky-dory on this side. Joseph, what do you got?
Nothing. Just having a good time with everybody in the chat, man. Fun Friday. I can't believe it's already 1 o'clock. But these big names are really starting to pull back in here. I can't believe like Apple's just not participating on anything. So we'll go over something. I want to see what the top volume stocks are on the day. And I can already tell you the top performing sector without even having to look, but we're going to look at it anyways.
Okay.
And that's probably going to be the tech sector, Sharif. I don't know how you feel about that one.
I like it.
Yeah, but let's see what put in the most volume. I think that's always an interesting thing here. So we're just retrieving the data right now. Highest amounts of volume today. We got TSLA with 150 million shares, SOXL with 140 million. And then NVDA with 110 million shares traded on the session. We'll go to some actual underlyings. PLTR 67, Tesla 64, Amazon 53. So that's quite a bit there for Amazon. Definitely on earnings day 2 or day 1, whatever you like to call it. Yeah, that's a good amount that we would like to see. But let's take a gander at the top performing sectors here on the day and see what we got cooking up. I already told you guys I don't have to look, and I already know the leaders are being the leaders. And oh wow, am I ever wrong? On that front there, guys. Financials seem to be leading the way on the day. Okay, there we go. Financials up 2.6% on the session. Industrials up there as well, consumer discretionary materials, technology in that fifth slot there. So I thought the tech sector was going to be winning, but I guess with that gap down and just slowly starting to recover, that would explain it. So the more I think out loud, that would explain a lot. But let's take a look at XLF. Or we'll go JPM because I think that's a little bit easier for me to find there. So let's see what JPM's up to. 2.5% on the session. Nice look here on JPM. Again, just similar price action. Look how orderly this is. This is what I want to see. If you want to own any form of stock, this is some nice clean price action in JPM. Not too many wicks. And we're still off of those all-time highs, but running into some key resistance levels and looking like we're going to break through them and hold it there. So high of approximately 279 to 210 there on to a low of 210 there on JPM and hasn't looked back. So yeah, market really starting to recover. I'm curious to how far we can rally and kind of pull back here from that primary downtrend that we've seen over the past couple months. And that's what I'm going to be patient and waiting for here. NVDA is now just turning south of the volume weighted average price. So we'll look for some indecision around those areas to see if we can find any form of long on that front. But again, we'll just go over my trades on the day. AAPL was one of them. We'll take a look at APL. Yeah, we went 1 for 3 on that front. Didn't work out for us how we wanted. We're shorting a strong stock right here, looking for the continuation, and it didn't work. But again, just walking away, saying I was happy with it. I didn't want to fight that trend, and it took a while. See, I don't know if you want to be holding on to a short from 204 all the way to 206 unless you're just really, really small size on that front. So that is AAPL. Then we also traded IBIT, was definitely the banger of the day for us here, guys, on IBIT. You can see on this 5-minute time frame, just one and done essentially on this front, add, and then going all the way, piecing out. And now this leads me to what Neil's lesson of the day is. He noted, he said, I'm seeing Joe start to average up into trades. I love that point. But also just don't start doing that with, like for me, it's like I don't do that unless I know my trade is starting to work. But with that being said, when you're adding into that position, you're now putting on more risk. And if so essentially what I like to call it is free rolling, okay? I used to have a free roll hockey that used to just risk my unrealized gains. So it would just calculate my, whatever I had unrealized, and then it would calculate from a share standpoint, how many more shares I can acquire with just risking that unrealized gain amount. And that's essentially what I do. So if I have unrealized, then I'll just continuously add. And at times I add a little bit more, especially if I have more conviction within the setup. But that's essentially what I'm doing. But with that being said, that also raises your stop as well too. So don't just start going gung-ho and adding to these positions without realizing, hey, your risk profile is now more defined. It's probably going to be tighter. And if it works against you, then you're going to be taking a bigger loss, Sharif.
All right, shout out to my man Bovin. A new small cap gapper has weaseled onto the scene. This is a midday mover. Okay, this is not a pre-market mover, nor was it doing volume at the open. Look at those volume bars, baby. They just start moving now. NTRP is the ticker. It's halted to the high side right now at $2.80. It's got the very large, massive market cap of $5 million, having traded about 510,000 shares on the day. If you're a newer trader, I'm being sarcastic. The float, I've got 608,000 shares. float. Let me double check that with Trade Ideas, make sure we're on the same page. Trade Ideas saying double that. So 1.2 million shares is the float as reported by Trade Ideas with a short float of 8 1/3%. So that's decent. That's not small. That's something we can work with here. NTRP, the ticker. Let's flip to the 1 minute chart over here to see how long it's been halted. It looks like it's a 3-banger so far for the halt. This is the first up halt, the first halt in general on NTRP right now. So let's keep an eye out on this one. Shout out to my man Bovin, always bringing this to my attention. So we'll keep that on the side chart over here. Who are we going to remove? Well, I'll tell you who we're going to remove. We're going to move SMMT because that one is banned from me trading it today. NTRP, let's throw that in, and I'll throw in the ticker super quick. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the side screen, guys, so just allow me a second over here for that. All right, I did add into my RCAT trade over here. So this one came back in, it tested that 605 area, it bounced up, I was almost done my shareage, so I said, look, move up your stop from 595 into 6. Add some here. You're already, you're in it. So get more long. We got 07s now with that add. So obviously changes my cost basis to be expected. Obviously. Now this one over here, ADPT. So I did add into this one as well for a VWAP dip. So ADPT, we don't have too many shares on now, but I want to place my stop in a strategic area below a previous area low, because at some point we're going to lose the volume weighted average price. I mean, it's not going to hold up there forever. So let me just go ahead and change my stop on ADPT. So we're going to do that, and we will send you to Adara, and then we'll talk about this when we get back.
Tesla's moving higher. I just want to let everybody know I'm not seeing any catalyst on this specifically. I know there was an interview released apparently with members of Doge or Elon's Department of Government Efficiency, but I highly doubt that's what's moving the stock. If I see any catalyst, I'll let you know. But regardless, great push to the upside for TSLA. Just wanted to A, let everybody know about this move, and B, let everybody know there is no news catalyst as far as I am aware. Looks like it's just moving with the market. Nice little uptrend here. Back to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, hottest intro out there. We'll play it back one more time.
Which one?
This is the hottest intro out, brother. Bang.
So good. And Fabian showed.
Yeah, and look at the guy squatting, too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was so perfect, right?
Yeah.
And did you see that played again? Did you see how when it actually... there it is. So look at that. And how it has the stocks as well
Up,
in
down,
addition.
Bang. Oh, we'll play it one more time for the people there. Bang.
All right, NTRP open, guys. Here, let's load it up on a trading screen. Who are we going to take off over here? SMMT, of course. So NTRP, a midday mover. Let's see how this one does. NTRP on the NQ, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay, so at day's highs right now. This is a halter. 314 was the high. It's below 3 right now. Let's see what the situation is. This is good. This is what I meant by tape teleportation. See how aggressively the tape is moving? Compare that to some of these other small cap gappers where you're not necessarily seeing that. This could hold to the downside though. Let's see what we do here at 70. That's an aggressive move off that 314 high and down into the low 70s we go. I don't know what the halt level is exactly. We'll have to watch a little bit more. Candle of indecision currently right now on NTRP, kind of equidistant upper and lower wicks. So I'm not going to punch into this willy-nilly. Let me tell you some levels here. Obviously, there's that $0.50 level, psychological support, but there's also the volume-weighted average price at 54. Is a little bit higher than that psychological support. Is this going to hold at 65, or are we just getting normal price buying over here? No, it drops into 60. So this one's continuing to lose the bid. It's at VWAP right now. Can it hold that $0.50? Let's see if it holds a $0.50. It's showing me that it might hold the $0.50 here going long. Let's see if this, I'm just going to basically give this to the $0.50. If it fails it, I'm flattening out. Simple as that. Let's go up, put some more orders here. Oh, this one didn't let me in. I guess maybe we don't have permissions on this. Yeah, okay. So this one we don't have permissions on. That's fine. It's probably a new one. That's why we don't have that. We'll keep an eye out on it. We'll report on it for you guys, though. NTRP, good move up here. 314 high day, up 63%. Smaller float, and not a huge short float or anything like that, but it's got 8 1/3% short float there, so not a bad look. We continue to take more prints here to the downside on WOLF. Just got the beak wet there in the mid-30s, or the high 30s, excuse me. So not a bad look there. All right, how are we doing with these other ones? ADPT still holding on to that, and it's still holding on to the volume weighted average price. No prints to the high side after that refill, though. RCAD as well, no prints to the high side after the refill, but still holding some technical levels. What else we got over here, Joseph? We still have AUR. AUR has been kind of just hanging out, doing really nothing at this point. And yeah, that's basically it. 4 trades on at the moment, all small cap gappers, as is kind of my thing. And we're going to vote for Rigetti today because that's as close as a small cap that we have here on the what's it called?
The list there.
The list. Thank you, Joseph. Abu Aman Khan, please give your view on kids. KIDZ, absolutely. Let's have a look at KIDZ. It's been a good small cap gapper these last few days. Oh, my mistake. Let me just load this one up over here. KIDZ. Yeah, look, brother, as I mentioned, I have a couple of rules when it comes to these small cap gappers. It's got to be trading above VWAP, which kids is. VWAP is at 790. It's trading at 824, that's fine. But as you can see, I've got that yellow line there. That's the alert on my chart. So the reason I put the alert there is it has to meet my second rule, which is it has to be trading above the pre-market high. At last, the pre-market high was put in around 550, just about 10 to 6, and that took us about to 1030. So I won't trade KIDZ until and if it takes out that 1030 level, Joseph.
Yeah, good look there, guys. Rogello was asking me about Palantir, so I literally just pulled it up as you asked. So before that, and I was just thinking in my head, look how strong this thing is. We're now just under 1 percentage point from that all-time high here in Palantir. And again, I could totally be wrong, but I just want you to ask yourself, do you want to be shorting the strongest name right now? And for me, that answer is no. You can see a lot of these names starting to pull back in towards the volume-weighted average price, and Palantir is hovering around those highs. So for me, that's just a pass, right? And I think it's really important to understand you got to find what's good for you in your trading. And like Obi said, kind of with that decision tree thing going on, is like, okay, are you counter trending? In this case, absolutely yes. Is it one of the stronger names? Yes. So then now ask yourself, do you want to be shorting one of the stronger names? And for me, that answer is going to be no. And I think it's easy to kind of just void out a lot of noise and a lot of tickers if you just have strict criteria, extremely strong downtrend, no indecision prints that say, hey, short me, adios amigos, we'll see you later. We don't want to be messing around with anything along those lines. You want to be going with the trend, unless those prints and those VPA signals are displaying themselves. That's exactly what we're going to look to do. So I'm going to say no here for a short on Palantir. We're trading around 123 and a bit, and an all-time high of just under 126. Again, I don't want to be going against this counter trend, or I don't want to counter trend this trade right here. My thought too, it's strong, but I'm looking at a resistance level on my daily chart. That's fine. And again, you have to make your own trading decisions. I can only give you my 2 cents, and if you want to use it, I prefer you to just do what you want to do. And if it's going against your thesis, still take it, because at the end of the day, I can't press the buttons for you, nor should I be dictating you hopping in or hopping out of a trade either. So take that into consideration. Pira Patel, the Bash Bros, what's up? Would you buy long-term TUAN, long-term average, like 15% of capital or less, 50% in Mags and 50% in Amazon, Microsoft, Apple? I mean, if you like, that's the thing. It's totally up to you. It just leads into what I just previously said. Buy what you're comfortable buying and allocating X amount into whatever underlying asset you want, right? Diversification, you guys know what my portfolio looks like. Is it diversified? Absolutely not, but that is just me. I'm here to hit a home run, right? Is it gonna work out or is it not? I don't know. Does diversification give you that? Possibly, absolutely. So that's just how it goes. I wanna short the Qs here, guys, but I think that ship has sailed, considering how far off the high we are now. I mean, we have some bases, and I think that a good entry would have been here, so you can get in at around 59.75s and then just use this 25-cent risk here. But we'll have to wait for a pullback now. The volume-weighted average price is trending along relatively well with it, so just be cautious of that. I'm not going to get in or chase the lows here on the Qs. I'll wait for a pullback, and then as soon as we have the inability to construct a new high, then maybe we'll look to take a short on that. What does Joe's portfolio look like? Well, you can ask Neil that because I showed him it. It literally does not consist of much. 75% of it, probably a little bit more now as we continue to climb. In my long-term portfolio is IBIT, 75%. So there you go. Neil has it confirmed there. I sent him an actual percentage of what I have in there. So if you're talking about diversification, unfortunately, you're asking the wrong guy because I'm not involved with any diversity whatsoever. Bitcoin, and more Bitcoin.
I like this.
Oh, let's go.
Well, look at this. This is like actual people's
sent you that one there?
This is on Instagram.
Oh.
There's your friend Neil.
Yeah.
There's our friend Sean. And there's Brendo right there. All right. I like this. I like this.
Adara.
There's Adara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your boy's not there, though.
Yeah, it's okay. I think they ran out of room. I like that. How it comes with a TV, a stereo, and that laptop, MacBook, baby. Yeah. Uh-oh. It's a special edition.
Special edition.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
The trader pack. I like this, guys. I like this is a thing right now online.
See how it is.
I'm seeing this guy.
See how it is, man.
This I like this trend online right now. It looks good. Guys, I stopped out break even for the last little amount here on Wolf. I'm gonzo on this one. It's putting in higher lows, and that's not the look I want to go for. If this closes and decidedly closes above that 450, I'm getting long. All right, that's simple as that on this one, so keep an eye on that. Simultaneously, I'm taking prints to the high side here on ADPT. Just took out some at 10s after the reload there in the mid-80s, so keeping an eye on that one. And also took some prints here on RCAT. But I am worried about this position right now on RCAT. It's holding the 10 so far, but it's got a topping tail candle into 613, and that's not what I want to. That's not what I want to see right now. So RCAT. Interesting at these levels, very respectful of the 10 EMA, but looks like it is being met with some selling here in the mid-teens. So that is the situation. AUR, I've talked about this one enough. So only longs right now, guys, on this one. Oh, and I forgot, we're still in Rigetti. I got back into Rigetti. Rigetti looks like it's holding 60 pennies. So if you zoom in a little bit on the chart on Rigetti, knees are heavy. Look at this. So all these bottom, or these wicks, all go into 60. There's a buyer here at 60 or 59s. It looks like 60. My concern, though, about Rigetti is even though the buyers are picking it up there, look at this. Lower high, even these candles over here have lower highs. So I'm trying to pack my patience. I've got I'm 4 pennies out of the money. I've basically given this one a very tight stop. So that's what we're looking to do right now. RGTI. Now I'm looking to get long here on our friend Wolf. Let's see. It's taking out that $4.50 level, but on a decisive basis, yes or no? Let's see. We're going long over here. We're going to give it. Are you serious? It doesn't let me in. What's going on here, bro? We're going to go long. We already got long over here, so let's set up some beak wetters on this into the mid-60s as well. Let's see if we can get that. Now, if it loses 50, I'm out. So it's going to have to hold that 50 penny level. We're going to have such a tight stop on this one on WOLF, keeping my eye on it to the low side. So let's give it to 47s, and then we're going to go just like that. So we've put in the stop on your friend there, Wolf. Family values. Good looking out about what? What did I do? City Boy 305. Thanks, Joey Bravo, for checking Tesla earlier in the options chain for 294.50. Was perfect. Take profits, go scalped for a quick profit. Joey always making money for the show, baby. Making money for the viewers as well. Shout out to Joey. Options. Keeping an eye on these bad boys here. Joseph, what do you got on your side, my man?
Yeah, I'm just chilling out here on AAPL, seeing what we can cook up. I do like this 5-minute print right here as we break through some key support levels. Actually, no, I don't. I take that back. This could just be a breath right here, and then we crack it to the downside. So I might get short some Apple, Amazon really starting to pull back in as well towards the volume weighted average price. So we couldn't put in that new high a day. You can see from that pre-market right there. Oh, sorry, it did put it in, I guess, from an intraday standpoint, but that pre-market high, 193.31, we couldn't crack through that. So you can see that lower high being formed all the way, and now it looks like we're heading all the way back towards the volume weighted average price. So that's that on Amazon. Apple, just taking that breath. Maybe I'll get involved on the shorts, but what I want to see, what I want to wait for here, guys, is that pullback into the middle of the range. We have the inability to Oh, look at this here. I love this. This is why I love thinking out loud sometimes.
Okay.
And there you go. So you can see that we're forming those consistent lower highs. So if we get a pullback into this range, then there might be some continuation to the downside. But I mean, it's pretty exhausted. I would assume. Well, I assume assumption isn't always the best, but I would think that like, hey, a nice breakdown here in AAPL. Sellers slightly exhausted, so maybe we won't get that continuation all the way to the downside, but we'll look for any rejection of these levels, and then maybe we can come back into these support levels. So that's kind of just the trade plan that I'm thinking out loud. If that happens, then we'll look to take some action. I'm gonna wait for Amazon to come back into the volume weighted average price as well too, and with the overall market. So maybe there might be a trade on the Qs. We'll just wait for that pullback, wait for that lower high to be formed, and then the continuation to the downside. I mean, it's been a pretty exciting week, if you ask me, and it's Friday.
Oh.
So volume does tend to die off a little bit in the latter half of the session there, Sharif. So just be cautious. We might not get that full-on breakdown or that breakup that we've already seen here today. So things might cool off here in the latter half.
It's Berkshire on the Berkshire shareholders meeting on the weekend.
Oh yeah, is this?
Well, I think it started today technically in Omaha.
Yeah.
Becky Quick was there in the morning.
Yeah, how many years has she interviewed?
Bro, she's been
doing it for a long time.
I kind of feel, I don't know if this is true. This is me speculating. I feel like they specifically say, if we're going to do something with you, it's got to be with Becky. You know what I mean? Because like they only want to talk to Becky Quick. I'm talking about Berkshire. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like Burke, what's his name? Charlie was like that. What's his name? The OG himself, Buffett, is like that as well. Obviously, it's nothing. There he is. Hello, Uncle Warren.
No, not right now. Not right now.
I know, right?
Not right now.
They have like a big conference floor there, and then everybody, all his companies and all the companies that deal with his companies go there, and they all set up shop. Yeah. And it's like, it's a scene, man.
It's a
Getting
big
tickets
event.
to that, you know what?
Yeah, I mean,
is tough,
we
right?
can watch it online.
Yeah, you can watch it online. CNBC has special coverage.
$3.99.
How much?
$3.99.
$3.99. Wow, yeah, okay. I like that. Guys, we're doing it live here on ADPT. Just took out 10 again, but this is the level that it rejected at, right? 10.07, 10.10 last time. Have a look, and that's where I wet the beak. I'm still waiting over here for that print. I'm talking about that 10.15 print. So this has been a VWAP trade for me. I'm talking about ADPT. Very bull flaggish with the support area for the flag component of the pattern seems to be at the volume weighted average price. And that's where I've been doing the reloads at VWAP. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Separately, here I am back now in Wolf as a long, looking at wetting the beak there at 60s, and then I'll wait at 69s. So this went, the reason I flipped long on this one, there it is. Now we get the print. The reason I flipped long on Wolf, because this area where I kept shorting got taken. So you can see I cover, break even on that, and then I punch back in long. So this one showed me, they appreciate you, lower high, lower high, lower high, and that's why I was of the opinion this could end up being a flat bottom break. I was wrong. And so, no worries, we're wrong, we'll flip long. All right, oh, I like that. So there, now we're up to 63s. I'm waiting at 69s. Let's go ahead and wait also at 77s. So we'll keep an eye out on that. I'm talking about WOLF. Separately here, before we throw back to your boy Joey Options, AUR knocking on the door of 820 yet again. How many freaking times are we going to knock on this door and get it shut in our face? This one's treating us like the way Adara did. You know what I mean? Like... Sorry, Adara, I just had to throw that in there. It was too perfect. No, for real though, since that 11:15 time slot, we've been rejecting 820 over and over and over. But look at the pattern, higher lows with that flat top. I feel awfully silly trying to take it there. I'm not going to take the profits there. That's stupid. If we're going to get a flat top break, likely this goes into 830. So that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to wait at 833s. If I don't get the print, sucks to be me, Joey.
Absolutely. All right, guys. In sports, playing flexibility is everything. Go Leafs, go. At ProfitX, you can see the order book just like a financial exchange. Pick your spot and customize the odds to fit your risk. Why settle for a single offered price when you can set your own? Plus, our mobile interface makes it easy to play on the go. ProfitX, where you can call the shots anytime, anywhere. Users can use code TraderTV to get our sign-up offer of 2% cash back on up to $300. So there you go. Go check out ProfitX there, guys.
Bang.
And you can set your own line as Sean and Neil actually use it.
They do it all the time, live.
And yeah, and then we had Neil and I had Diego Lopez, but he didn't come through for us, unfortunately. So that's what happens. And yeah, Diego, big fail because that was your fight to lose. But shout out to Volkanovski as well too. But we got big fight. I knew what you were gonna say.
There's my guy.
Fight.
Perfect setup.
We got a big fight coming up this week.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Let's give the people a little bit of
Let's pull up the card though, because it's a pretty stacked card.
It is actually.
Yeah.
So Ryan Garcia, guys, fighting a guy named Rolly Romero. Yeah. This Rolly Romero guy, apparently he's a really good fighter. He kind of got exposed by Gervonta Davis. Now, Gervonta Davis is like, you know, king of what? Of that division. So it's not saying a whole lot that Rolly lost to him. Now, it did kind of expose some weakness in the chin. And so people who've got power in their hands, and we know Ryan has got power in his hands, could hurt Rolly. And so that's going to be kind of what I'm looking for. Can Rolly deal with Ryan's power? Now, let's roll back a little bit. Your friend Ryan was suspended for a year. Why? Oh, PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, okay? He apparently was taking a SARM, and if you don't know what SARMs are, they're selective androgen receptor or something or another. They're like a new version of steroids, okay? A designer version, a 2020 version of steroids, kind of like that. They don't work in the same way. He was using, what was that called? Ostarine?
Yeah, Ostarine.
Ostarine. So he got booked for that. He tried, you know, to say, oh, I don't know anything. My nutritionist, this, that, my dietitian, this, that, and the other. Whatever, bro. He served the year suspension. It's donezo. He's now allowed. He's been given his license back, and now he's going to fight. So the question is, does he pack that power that he packed in the Devin Haney fight with Rolly, now that your boy's no longer taking Ostarine? So that's going to be what everybody wants to see, and that's what I want to see as well. But he had some hands before. He had speed.
Way before. He was
he was not knocking top-level guys out, though. He was talking mid-level guys. He was hurting mid-level guys.
What do you mean? He knocked out Campbell, whatever his name is. He was a good, but mid-level guys, right? Fair enough, but he was knocking them clean out, man. Like,
fair?
I don't remember the last time Devin Haney knocked anybody out, to
Devin
be honest.
Haney's not known for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, here's the card, though, Sharif. We got Ryan Garcia and Rolando. I think that's going to be a good one. And these guys are all in the same weight class. Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez, and then Teofimo versus Barboza Jr. I think that's going to be a good one. I personally, I had a love-hate relationship with Teofimo. I thought he was great. I do think he lost that Vasily Lomachenko fight.
Agree.
Yeah, he lost that one, but he got it. But he's the champion.
Who we got on that card?
That just shows the top three there. So yeah, Lavelle, Winnington. I don't even know who those guys are. But Teofimo, these three guys that are in the same thing, because I think if Teofimo wins, Garcia wins, it has to be Teofimo Garcia for that next fight, and that will be an absolute banger. But it's unfortunate that it's boxing, and it's going to take multiple years to get the fight that we want. So there we go. Yeah, I mean,
your friend Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey and Dana. Yeah, Turk and Dana.
You heard about that? You know about that league, right?
Yeah, but that's another issue, though, Sharif, is that now we have another boxing promotion to add to the umpteen amount that we already have, right? So it's just like, okay, great that you guys are doing that. Who cares? All just dissolve into one, and then let's start putting on the mega fights, because these boxers make cash. So imagine if they were actually fighting the top-tier guys at all time. It would probably be, if it's not already, one of the best-paying sports that you can have, and you only have to fight multiple times, like 2 or 3 times a year. So yeah,
like some of these guys, you know, if you want to stay active, right? But
yeah, if you want to stay active, but by all means, like John Jones in the latter half of his career was fighting once a year.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Fight once a year. Okay, bang, you make a lot of money, but you got to be good at that as well too. But again, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, I think that's the next one. No one really cares about Devin Haney Garcia too, because you'll just knock him out again anyways. So it doesn't. It honestly doesn't even really matter. So it's Teofimo and Ryan Garcia is what we really want to see there, guys. So yeah, back into these markets, a little sports talk for you guys. Oh, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are headed off to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, winning 4-2 last night against your local, I guess not that local, but Ottawa Senators. But I mean, I love the the Kachuk brothers, so shout out to America. Those are the guys that you hate playing against, but love having on your team. And those two brothers are the epitome of that. I love them. Again, I can bash the Leafs all day, but I'm glad that they finally won their second round in 10 years. Let's go.
Bang.
And that's exactly, yeah, bang, 10 years later. It takes all that time.
So how do we fare against Florida, Joseph?
No, we stand at next to no chance.
Seriously?
Yeah.
They whooped
need to pull a
Tampa
cat out of a
yesterday
hat.
6-3. They
They'll
beat
have to
them
pull out a
5
cat out of a hat. Yeah, it's just the intimidation factor on that, right?
You don't think we want to exact some revenge?
We would love to, but we just don't have the grit, though. So you know what I mean? It's just like you just don't have that physical power. That intimidation factor comes into play. They're more rough and they're highly skilled as well too. When the game gets rough against highly skilled individuals, that's where Toronto kind of lacks, right?
Yes.
They don't have the dog. I'm gonna be honest with you. William Nylander, his father played in the NHL. Mitch Marner, his parents grew up in Leaside, so you know what that means. And then Austin Matthews, I guess, comes from humble beginnings. But those guys, again, they're not like the gritty pond hockey guys who are like, let's get it, losing teeth and everything like that. Who do anything to win at all costs. I can't say over the past 9 years they don't have that in the Leafs. So,
that's fair, and I always kind of felt that about Arsenal. They had that kind of DNA before under the previous manager. Like they get into tough situations and they'd crack. You know how you could tell? Because their record against great teams. So in England, it's usually the top 6, right? Because there's usually 6 really good teams in the Prem. You don't see that everywhere else. And so the top 6, their performance against the top 6 during that old era
really falls
horrible, bro. And we would go away, and that's when you could see it the most. Like we would tie or maybe even like lose lightly or even win on our turf, but we'd go to their turf and just get shellacked. 6-1, 5-1. We'd get a red card and play with 10 guys most of the game. And you just saw it. They didn't have the compunction.
They didn't have the dog, right? You know what I mean? You know when individuals have the dogs, and unfortunately our core 4 don't have a dog. I seen John Tavares get tapped in the face like 3 series ago, and the guy like crumbled, like his knees buckled and he just got a little tap from somebody, and he's on the ground. And I'm like, oh my God.
Patty wants to chime in here.
What's Patty want to say?
He tells you he's right, but tell him to retract that statement. Go Leafs, go. So Patty doesn't want to hear the truth, bro. He doesn't want to hear it, bro. He's like, look, bro. You know, we either love our team or that's it. So shout out to BPI, Big Patty Ice, obviously a very big Leaf fan. We miss Patty. Shout out to Patty. All right, Joseph, we're taking Prince here on Rigetti, Mom Spaghetti to the high side, looking for that next beak wetter around $0.75. He did hold that 60 penny range, and we know how good Rigetti's been on the day. Can it maintain that look? So taking some prints to the high side over here, looking for more. Did I get a print on AUR? What's going on? No, so I moved up. So AUR did now print a new high dates, 823, but you can see it's right at that 820 area. I'm not going to take a flat top break for 4 pennies. That's not the move. The flat top break usually means that there's going to be an aggressive move to the high side, so that's why I've set my beak wetter at like 8 1/3. I could be convinced to move it down, but it's going to have to show me that it's rejecting some sort of level for me to move it down. Pony, I'm not going to have anything on. Wolf, I extracted some profitability on, but it seems like it's holding the 50 penny level now. Let's see if I can get something in the high 60s there. You know where I'm waiting, obviously. If we're in the 60s, I'm waiting at 69s. So that's what we're doing there. What else we got on? AUR, I've already mentioned. Oh, that's 823 now. Go, AUR, go. 24s, you don't say. All right, so we've been waiting here on AUR. We got 02s on AUR. Okay. And I still have some shares. RCAT. Continuing to put higher highs and higher lows, man. Defending 6 like a glove. Still eluding me is that 615 print that I've been waiting for a hot minute. So I'll keep an eye out on that one. And still watching Rigetti. Kids is halted. Could squeeze here. Says Shanti Das. Let's have a look at KIDZ. Okay, so we're really close. So listen, Shanti, see that yellow line? That will trigger if this thing moves above that 10-15 area. The reason I put my alert there is I want to bring your attention this pre-market high. Now, I have a rule with these small cap gappers. I will not trade them until and if they take out the pre-market high. So as you can see, this candle here at 5:50 a.m. made a 10:29 high day. Currently, we are halted at 9:63. We're 2 minutes deep into the halt. So if this one ends up clearing that level, I'll be alerted, and I'll certainly be interested in taking a trade there. Shout out to HTX Trader. Thank you as well for letting me know that it got to the that is halted. Elizabeth Stott, kids near pre-market high. I love it, Elizabeth. I love how you're calling it out in that way. Shout out to you. Thank you for letting me know about that. So kids has now earned its spot onto the side chart. We're going to take off NTRP because it was a Christmas tree retracement to the downside, and we'll put in KIDZ on the side chart over here. Still not tradable for me, but I definitely want to have, I want to be ready if it becomes tradable. Because then, Joseph, as we always say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Ooh,
get it, Adara.
There we go.
All right, so what do you got?
Dionysus. Ooh, I like that one. Dionysus.
Greek?
Yeah, the Greek god there.
Yeah.
Dionysus. Yeah, except
Good
for the thing is, the issue is here, he's telling do something.
Dionysus, what are you doing over there, bro?
Dionysus. We like the name.
What's going on over there, bro?
But here, go check this one out here, Yeah, go check this out here,
Show them the video.
Yeah, oh, which one? The VWAP one? Dionysus, check out this one here. Entry, add, bang, 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 bang. That one worked out really well for us, didn't it there, my good friend?
Oh, Dionysus, you just got shafted, bro.
What happened?
Because you just showed him a banger.
Yeah, I just say, there you go. So I don't know what else. There you go, bang,
Dionysus.
bang, bang, bang. I like the name. I love the Greek gods, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know about him, though. I don't know. I don't like that comment.
We'll give him a second chance there because that's what we do.
But
okay. But I do like the shorts, right? So, I mean, just because, like, I told you guys, and I'll say it once again, I'm just not going to throw something up to toss it up, right? So I'm being patient. We were trading SoFi as well, too. But I wanted to sit in that trade, the IBIT trade throughout the whole session, but it came back towards my break even. So we had to get out of that one. So, yeah, SoFi worked out pretty well for us here earlier in the show. You can see that we got this move, but then we got that break even stop out, and then all the way up to 1288 up there. But, yeah, you can see what we cooked up there on IBIT, and then we'll also take a look at what we did on Apple. The shorts didn't work for us. Sorry about these dark pools here, guys, but the long briefly did. Then we ended up getting stopped out right there, and then we took 2 attempts on the short side, but then that squeeze price action came in. So I'm going to be patient and wait for Apple to pull back and some of these other names. I do want to get short the Qs back in towards the volume weighted average price, but just from the price action, I can tell that it's probably holding the 9 or the 20 relatively well. So just going to be cautious of that. The short is starting to come into play. The only issue is now my risk profile is all the way up there, but we are cracking some key support levels. So maybe I'll start to get a little something going there just for you there, Dionysus.
Something.
Yeah, a little something just for Dionysus too.
I wouldn't be doing him any favors.
Yeah, hey, I'm a nice
Speak
guy.
to me nice.
Yeah, speak to me nicely.
Then we can we have a discussion.
Please be good. Please be good to me. No one knows what that one's from. That is from Napoleon Dynamite.
I love Napoleon Dynamite,
one of the greatest movies of all time.
And I barely watch any movies,
yeah,
or you know that. Obviously,
man.
you always tell me movie. That has a cult following.
That's a cult classic.
I love that
I forget his
movie.
brother's name. It's like Kip or something like that, and he's bold.
Yeah. And he meets a girl online, and she takes the bus to meet him. Yeah, she's like 3 times the size.
That's the greatest glow up of all time is Kip. He just goes from being this guy, and then you see him.
He's got the do-rag on after. He's got the baggy shorts. Kip the uncle, though, is the best for me. My man's reliving the days.
Uncle Rico.
Right? Uncle Rico. I could throw a pigskin like a mile or something like that. What's that, Fabian?
Yeah,
Uncle Rico,
yeah,
that's my guy.
Exactly. So
that's my guy.
It's the funniest part where it's like Napoleon and Pedro are just riding their bike, like being absolutely innocent, and Uncle Rico's like, "Watch this!" grabs the steak and just whips.
Yeah, Uncle Rico's a menace, bro.
Absolute menace.
Okay.
Right,
Joseph, I gotta interrupt.
Go ahead.
Kids is taking out the pre-market high, guys. It did just take it out. Where the hell is my kid's screen, bro? I just literally, there it is, KIDZ. Look at that, guys. Look at this craziness. It takes out the pre-market high by like 5 pennies, drops like a rock. It's down from 10.35 into 9.55. Here we go. It's zigging, it's zagging. It just lost $1 quick as you like. I ain't touching this until it settles the hell down and shows me what the key areas of technical support are. I'm going to have to change some of these over here. We're going to put a KIDZ. It's not updating on my side chart. Wow, this is losing the bid very quickly. Let's see if it picks up a bid at $9. KIDZ, guys, it just took out the pre-market high. It was 10.29. It goes to 10.35. And that's, look, that doesn't happen by accident, okay? You don't just take out the pre-market high and drop $1. This was clearly somebody setting up a short, okay, for the taking of the pre-market high. If I'm using this setup, others are using it as well. And that's what I wanted to tell you there. So it's not by accident that it breaches a pre-market high and then drops $1, right? Because this thing was halted at 9.64. It wicks up into 10.35 and then drops into 9.35, as you can see there on your screen. It is holding up at 9. The low of this current 5-minute candle, Joseph, 9.10. So if you're going to base something here, base it off that $9 level, but have a hard stop. Don't keep dollar cost averaging and then find yourself not $100 down, but $300 down. You don't want that, right? No. So that's the situation. So let's see what Kids does now. Now it's in play. Even though it's not above the pre-market high, it's breached the pre-market high. So if we can get it off a key technical level, I will be all eyes and ears on KIDZ, and we'll see if we can execute on that one. Separately over here, we're waiting for a print here on your friend Wolf. We went long on this one. Let's wet the beak up here, and then we'll just cancel this trade, and then we'll put it a little bit more up here. So this one does have the potential to really go. So we'll just extract some profitability on this one and then see what's up. I'm continuing to monitor KIDZ on my side chart. It is losing the bid very aggressively. So on Kids, I just want to let you know, because a lot of people have been talking about this. I see possible psychological support at 9. If 9 doesn't hold, the next level I'm looking at is that 10 EMA. Currently showing me 870, likely going to be an 875 bounce if it bounces off that level. Below the 10 EMA, we got the volume weighted average price. That's currently at around 805. So we'll see where that is at if and when the price does dip down. We're losing 9, Joseph. So we're already at $1.35 and counting off that high. That's the bamboozlement you can get on these small cap gappers, guys. And that's why I always yell about this. They're around for a good time, not a long time. Trade them carefully. Here we come into the 10 EMA. As I mentioned, the 10 EMA, 860 some odd something. We're showing 70s now. So do we get a bounce off the 10 EMA? This is one of the ugliest candles I've seen, man, in a while here on one of these small cap gappers, giving up so much so quickly. I'm not touching this until I can figure out exactly what the look of its jib is. Let's have a look at Rigetti. Knees are freaking heavy. We took another print there on your friend Rigetti up into 1075. Where are we long? We're long 65. Now I'm waiting at 80s. So we'll see what this one does. We'll continue to run on that. Let's keep an eye out on ADPT as well. After that ad, we've been now holding above 10. I'm waiting at 10.15. We're showing 05s now on the ask side of that trade. And AUR, as I've mentioned, I need a big boy breakout above that 8.25. I'm waiting at 8.33, up about 20% there. So keeping my eye on KIDZ. This one has shown, obviously, its propensity to take and give very quickly, okay, to the high side and the low side. So both trades are in play, Joseph.
Yeah, good luck there, guys. All right, Dionysus, we're short some, what is he, the god of fun? Is Dionysus the god of partying and fun or something like that?
Did he apologize for that comment?
No,
Wine?
Wine.
Wow.
He's the
Andre
god.
is the assassino, bro. His name is Assassino now.
Assassino.
Are you okay with that, Andre? I don't want to call you anything you don't like. Yeah, he's Assassino.
I like that, Assassino.
Yeah.
Yeah, Assassino, I like that one there.
I love it.
All right, yeah, so yeah, I like all the Greek gods there, including Dionysus, regardless if he's giving it. All right, we're going straight to a dare here, guys.
Live.
This is LQDA. Keep an eye on LQDA. And there's another one here, but my X is frozen. Yeah, watch out for this ticker here. I'm seeing apparently there's some notes coming out here, and X looks like there was a motion to dismiss in a case involving United Therapeutics. So keep an eye here on LQDA. The other ticker was UTHR. So what happened here, apparently there is an order granting these defendants motions to dismiss without prejudice in the case of United Therapeutics. So without prejudice means there could be future cases involved. It's not dismissed with prejudice, but keep an eye here on UTHR and LQDA. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Adira. Guys, if we break through this support level 59.55 here on the Qs, then I think we're going to see some more continuation to the downside. I gave it a little bit of a wider stop here, so smaller size, wider stop. I think that's going to be the name of the game, especially if we don't want to be going too counter against kind of these bigger names. But if we're going to pull back in towards the volume-weighted average price, then I'm going to be prepared to add into the position and do so. Apple is coming into that top end of this trend line right here, guys. I mentioned that before, so there could be a potential additional short right here if we reject this 205 level when we come into this area, this trend line, and we want to see the rejection. But if we sit on top of this line, then the thesis invalid on that one. So yeah, there we go. That's that one. We're going to be patient on this. I do like that we're at the top end. One thing to note in this TQs trade, I'm in at the top end of the range, which also gives me the ability to kind of have a larger risk to reward, right? So again, I can just have my stop above these areas. If it fakes me out, then so what? But I'm also looking for the continuation of this trend there. So yeah, that's the game plan on that one. Yeah, let's go Dionysus. I mean, let's move. I love Cicero, one of my favorite names as well too. But enough of that. We want to talk markets and what we got going on here. We went over the top performing sectors of the day. Let's take a look at the actual coming next week. I want to see what the options chain is telling us for next week. So I'm going to pull up the overall market, so the likes of Q and the SPY, and see what these high levels of open interest are. I mean, all those rollovers may not have happened just yet, so we won't probably get the amount of size that we may be necessarily looking for. So that's going to be May 9th's expiration cycle on the Qs. Yeah, I mean, 495, that's not too far away. We only got 3,000 open contracts, but then when we get into 500 is where we see slightly more, about 7,500 currently open contracts. But it's going to be really key to know that a lot of these we'll see that open interest start to increase come next week, right? So we are at the end of the week, and a lot of contracts are going to be expiring. So I want to see what's going to be rolling over to next week. I think that's going to be really, really important. So just to look ahead slightly, Apple can break out too. Adrian, that's what I was saying before, is that if we crack this trend line and sit on top of it, then we can most definitely continue to the top side. So that's what I was referring to. Either look for the rejection of it to the downside, but then if you have the ability to break it and hold, then maybe you can continue to climb here in price and gain some of what we've lost on yesterday's earning report and this morning as well too there, Sharif.
All right, we got into kids. We did a nice little trade here, break even on the last little amount. On the first one, we took about 20 pennies. Nothing to write home about. It has a double bottom off the 10 exponential. That's currently 875. So I don't mind getting back into this one at 875, but it really does look like the best level right now is 9 because it's defending 9. So keep your eye out on this one. We still have a lower high, obviously, than that 1035, but there is a decent amount of support at 9. Let's see if we can weasel back into this. We're going to Adira.
Here is IBM. Keep an eye on this one. The Logic, which is a Canadian tech news source, basically reporting here that Canada is apparently going to be providing IBM with another $210 million in financing to expand. Again, I'm seeing this headline here on X, courtesy of The Logic, which is a Canadian tech publication. IBM reportedly set to receive 210 million Canadian dollars in expansion financing. Back to you.
1 second, my guy DJ, my guy DJ 2 AM didn't want me to feel left out right there. We got the laptop right there, some pie right there, and then a hockey stick. Let's go, and the classy suit.
And the hockey stick.
Yeah, and
say it ain't so, Joey.
See, we got the hockey stick in there, man. That's all that matters, and that so. Say it ain't so. Thanks, brother. I'm going to repost that one there. Fantastic. Looks a lot like me. And we got the suit, too, because, you know, we keep it classy. Man.
All right. What do we got over here, man? We're back into kids. We got 10s on. We're showing 33s. We're doing it freaking live. Let's take out some more over here. All right. Let's take out some more before it drops down. What's happening? Why isn't it letting me out? That's so weird. There we go. All right, now we're good. Now. That was not a good look there, Joey. So let's yeah, because I was fumbling the keys. You can't fumble the keys with these small cap gappers. They'll make you question your life choices. So here's the deal. This one is, if it loses 9, that's the end of the trade. Simple as that. We've got one more out left. It's been defending 9 very well, and that's the end of the trade there. We'll take out that break even. Now, it has a topping tail candle that is not conclusive at the moment, but that 879 area is now where the 10 exponential moving average is. I can keep getting in and getting out of this one. I have no problem doing that. It's above 9 again. It's just, you know what the deal is? I'm going to put my out prior bar low because it is putting in lower highs. So let's get back in, smaller size this time. We're going to get back in, and then the prior bar low on this candle is 877. So there we go. Let's go 872, and then we'll go down to 65 to give it room. What do we have here on kids? We got 09s. All right, so let's set up at 9. Let's set up at 22s, and then we're going to leave a piece for the dream over here. We're going to keep scalping here on KIDZ so long as it defends that prior bar low. I'm all ears on this one, so we'll keep an eye out on that. What the situation is, I'll keep you guys apprised. AUR, I could be getting out of this one momentarily. 802 is my long. I'm going to pack my patience. RCAT as well, losing that bid. It's coming. I've got 08 on the reload, but it is kind of now rounding a little bit at the top there. Anything below 6, I'm done my trade on that. ADPT continues to put in higher lows and higher highs. It's well above 10, so I'll keep my eye on that one. Don't want to take it out too quickly. All right, we didn't go at the beat quite yet there on KIDZ. Seller at 17s. Still has higher highs and higher lows. Current 5-minute candle, even though I'm not getting the print, still has higher highs and higher lows. So keep my eye on that. What's wrong with the ticker I'm trading, bro? Patrick Riley, what do you want, bro? Don't tell me what to trade. Just focus on yourself, my boy. All right, so we'll keep an eye on WOLF as well, because I've still got shares on this. Still waiting for that 82 print there that we got. So keeping my eyes on kids, keeping my eye on AUR, RCAT as well. RCAT's about to get stopped out. I know, Neil, but that's the name of the ticker. RGTI as well, looking at ADPT. We got a lot of trades on today, baby. That's just the way it goes around here. What do you got, Joey?
Neil's cracking up over there. Welp. Yeah, I wasn't even.
Boom!
The boom.
Boom! That's what it is, Joey.
Boom.
That's what it is, bro.
You can't.
We printing.
You print
on kids.
All right, man. Oh. Hey, yo. Hey, but I mean, there we go. I mean,
sorry, guys. We're having a good time. I hope we're not offending anybody. We're chuckling here. You guys know it's a ticker.
Hey,
I hope nobody's getting offended. We're having a good time. We're doing it freaking live. Tell them what you're looking at, Joey.
Bing bong. Remember that guy? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay, there we go. We're getting that rejection of this trend line here on AAPL, guys. So
we're gonna get banned.
Yeah.
YouTube's gonna ban us.
Yeah, but I mean, here we go. Nice rejection of that trend line, guys. We drew this earlier. Right? And then we said we're going to look for it to sit on the backside of this, or we're going to look for the rejection of the trend line. And before it even actually happened, we said that was that key specific level. And you can see that we're starting to come back into come back in towards the volume weighted average price. So there you go. That is that look on AAPL. If we crack the VWAP, then we'll look for that short on that front. But here we go. We're kind of back. This is why I said we need to give this more risk here on this TQs trade, considering how the market's moving. So that's why you go smaller size until the thesis starts working, until we crack through these key levels. That's when you can start to free roll or add into these positions. Until otherwise you don't. For me personally, I don't average in, because what happens if I were to average in at a better price? Again, it's all styles, but then if we come all the way up here, then I'm taking a bigger loss opposed to just adding in as the trade starts to work. And then if it comes back to me, we can just get out break even and reassess the situation and get right back into that trade. So yeah, there we go. So being patient, waiting for that. If Apple breaks down in the likes of NVDA and some of the other bigger names, then we're going to get that continuation to the downside. And there we go, starting to trade in the money right now, heading back towards those lows that we exactly need. So if Meta can break through some support, then I think we're going to get the volume weighted average price here in the TQs. And you can see once again, we just bounce right off of these key support levels. I want us to watch the defense on the tape. So if we come and test this level again without cracking it, just focus on what's happening here on the tape. And you can see it slightly get more aggressive on the ask as we climb, as we appreciate in price. But when we run into key resistance zones, you can see the defense as well. So that's why we're range bound. And I think it's important to kind of watch these levels and how underlyings trade and how the tape necessarily works in consolidation phases. So you can see that in this specific zone, as we approach the highs, bang, and you can see that flush on the tape, and then we head back down in price. So this is what we want to continuously see if we're going to break down. And then if we head back towards the lows, you're going to see the inverse of that and just consistent, aggressive sellers lifting that ask. So that's what it is on the offer. And then you can continuously see us trade within this range. So we'll focus on this for a couple minutes just to see how the tape actually works in these specific scenarios. And that's why I go back and tell you guys, find a stock, if your platform allows you to do so, find a stock that is strong in the opening drive, watch that tape, right? See how it reacts, see what the tape is telling you, and then do that with a weak stock as well too. If it's extremely weak, watch that tape and see how the tape is printing, how it reacts around key levels, and then look for a stock that is essentially moving eastwards, sideways, really choppy, and look how those specific levels are being defended. And I think that's going to give you a really good understanding of how the time of sales works, and it's going to add more edge into your trading, because it is an art, and it takes a long time to learn. But once you really get it in, it's going to help you with precision entries and whether to determine you're in a choppy stock or in a stock that's relatively strong or weak.
All right, man. Great information there, Joseph. Sound stuff. All right, KIDZ, guys, it's still holding prior bar low. That's what I'm doing right now. So every time a new 5-minute candle prints on the chart, I am moving my stop up to the bar, to the low of the prior bar. So it's kind of like a trailing stop, but not really. I'm just really kind of trying to lock in the profits and move with the trend. So we're long 09s now. This is several trades. Here comes 35, here comes 45. Your boy's waiting in the mid 50s. So let's see if we can get that break. I can flatten out here, I just don't want to. So the current bar high there took us to 46s. So feels like there is some selling coming in at the $0.50. Keep an eye out on this one. I'm talking about KIDZ. It's up big, 73%. It's a multi-day runner. Just have a look at that daily chart on KIDZ. It was running yesterday. We were involved in it yesterday as well. Show me $0.33. It's now 3 candles in a row on the 5-minute charts of higher high and higher lows after that big Huadunk candle from 1035 all the way down to 874. So needless to say, it's very volatile and very dangerous, so make sure you're executing on it in a sound way using sound risk management skills. I'm keeping an eye on it here, looking for that print to the high side at around 9 high 50s. That's my look. Rigetti, Mom's freaking spaghetti. We're taking prints on this one to the high side, added multiple times into this. Initially got in here, stopped out, added again. Now we're wetting the beak. Rigetti, we're long from 65, it's just wicked up into 82, so not a bad look there. Also, Wolf still involved in that one. That's showing me 70s now. Wolf, we've got 55s on. I'm waiting at the lofty price of 82 on WOLF, so not a bad look. Also, ADPT, I'm involved in multiple trades, guys. I'm in 6 positions right now. ADPT, having lots of trouble with 10. But ADPT has been a VWAP trade for me, okay? That's what I've been doing. I've been adding on the retracements into VWAP, and I see kids is coming back down quite aggressively, so I want to move back down. Now a new 5-minute candle has manifested with the low being essentially just a little bit below that $9 area. So that's where my stop moves up. So I'm going $9, I'm going $8. We're going to give it to the mid-90s or so. Here, hopefully we don't get triggered out, but that's the situation. So I've put in a new stop now on KIDZ to shadow or to based upon, excuse me, the prior bar low. Current 5-minute candle does not have a higher high than the previous one. It has a higher low, but that higher high still eludes us. To get that higher high on KIDZ, we got to break above 45. We're showing 26s right now. So this is an interesting one. Keep an eye out on this one. I'm very interested in this one to break to the high side. It's already shown its propensity to be very volatile. Oh, baby. Ooh. Here comes WOLF to the high side. I don't know if this takes out my level. I'm flattening out here. Good enough trade for me. I've got way too many on to be able to kind of manage these, but Wolf, good look here. We took it long. Initially, we took it short. We took it long again. Good look today on WOLF. What are we doing here on kids? Still zigging and zagging, still dealing with that prior bar low. AUR as well, defending 10s, and it has been. I'll submit to you, AUR has been defending 10s since around 11:50 this morning, so not a bad look. And RCAT, I've moved up my stop to a very, very superficial break of that $6 area. So anything below that area, I'm gone on RCAT. Rigetti, I already mentioned, taking that to the high side on ADPT as well. $10 resistance. Hard to shake this area here on ADPT. That $10 area has been a rinse and repeat kind of resistance level. I'm waiting at 10.15. So anything above 10.15, I get that print back to KIDZ because that's a more volatile of the bunch right now. Keeping my eye on this one. Looking, I wonder if I should be adding into KDZ on the dips. I'm legitimately thinking about that. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait in the mid-single digits. Let's go at 7s. Let's see if we can get something more at 7s over here for a bit of a dip trade and to move back up. If we don't, that's fine. We're still zigging and zagging right now. As I mentioned on KIDZ, we've got higher lows, but we still don't have a higher high above the previous candle, the previous 5-minute candle. That's what I'm looking for there on KIDZ. Let's see what everybody's talking about. I didn't really have an opportunity. I'm sorry for that. Joseph's grandma, Sharif, you're the only mature one out of us all. Salute. Whoa. I don't know about that. That's kind of like the opposite of my personality. But I thank you. I don't agree with that though. Jarhead Trader, TSLL ascending wedge. Well, if it's a TSLL, ascending wedge, it must be an ascending wedge on TSLA as well. Let me just look quickly on the side chart. That's not an ascending wedge, brother. Oh, yes, it is. You're right. Excuse me. That 11, 10, 11 mid-single digits is a flat top with higher lows. Good call out, Jarhead Trader. Good call out, my man. That's a good look. Tisha, where have you been, Tisha? We've been trading a zillion small caps. You're coming in late, man. I was like in 8 positions at one time, Tisha. Shout out to Tisha. Reclaims 10. Game on. Absolutely, Tisha. It did break through the pre-market high. It was 29s. It broke into 35s and then dropped from 1035, Tisha. You can see it on your chart all the way down into like 875. It was ugly to say the least. It didn't halt though. Day trader cut. Why do you think you love small cap gappers so much? I'll tell you why. When I started trading during COVID, that's what I started trading. It was small caps. I didn't even get into large caps till I started watching this specific show and saw the Neil and the Katina man just kill it on large caps all day. But I went back to my bread and butter. That's what I learned trading on. And that's what I feel most comfortable. And I want a little bit of a niche, right? Like, that's kind of how you stand out and differentiate yourself and get that specific technical skill. That's exactly why I'm trading these small cap gappers. So that's my answer to that, Joseph.
Charlie, man. All right, yeah, guys.
What happened?
No, they're just messing around, but that's okay. Keep the grandma out of it, please, and thank you. That's my rock right there.
Yeah. Well, there's a guy named Sharif's mom in the chat.
Mom. Yeah. I mean, you guys we can joke around with that stuff, but we'll keep the.
What did he say there?
No, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. We don't want to pay too much attention to it. No, it's all right.
Sharif's small left bicep small.
Yeah. Is that back? But yeah, so this is it. We're still sitting in this short there, guys. Any caller put wall on PLTR? Holly asked. Yeah, we can pull that up. I mean, it is 2 o'clock now. We'll do one more favor before the weekend. I hope everybody had a solid week. Yeah, I think I won't even talk about it. I went 4 for 5. I'll say it. I went probably 4 green days, 1 red day, I think, this week. So yeah, not a bad week. 125, there is some overhead resistance. That's going to put us right around that all-time high. But that's on this week's expiration. So the chances of those expiring worthless are relatively high. Right there, surprisingly, you can...
What happened?
What happened?
What screen?
What screen?
Play it again, please.
We didn't get the
Wow,
super chat,
Fabian
man.
and Assassino. I absolutely love it. That was great, bro. I just got some chills, man, right in the back of the spine there. I got the goosebumps. Oh my
Tesla
goodness.
flat top break. There you go. There you go, Jarhead Trader. Way to call that one out there. Good trade on that one. There you go, City Boy. You're loving that as well, too. My guy Gorv in the chat. It is 201. Joe can throw hands. You got that right, Crystal.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yes, you definitely have that.
Do we have to show him that video?
I don't have it personally on me, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, we could most definitely show that. Show that video.
Joe knocked out a guy at the gym because he was talking smack.
Yeah.
So we can show that video.
Yeah,
he knocked him out cold, Neil.
Yeah.
The guy's like, where am I?
Where am I?
Where am I, mama?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Just
poor
one
guy,
straight right
poor
there.
soul.
But I mean, guys, it is now 2:01.
Oh, is it?
I hope you guys had a fantastic trading day. It was an interesting one, and the opportunities were most definitely there. It is Friday. Don't hulk out. Don't tilt. Don't do anything. Lock in those profits because Monday, bright and early, we're going to be back 11 a.m. right here, but 8:30 to start that pre-market prep show here with these guys, Sharif, Brando, Sean, Neil, Adara, bringing you the hottest tickers of that specific day, bright and early on Monday, guys.
I love it.
Let's see what what's Obi and Neil are up to.
Get it, Obi.
Go. Lots of fun on the midday, 100%. And the man telling you not to rage out is the one throwing, ready to throw hands. So you got to have, with that power, with that kind